Hello, welcome everybody. Greetings, greetings. Mr. Tony South. Wow, you're the first today. Thank you so much for coming. Thank you. Highly favored. Greetings. Happy Wednesday. Happy home day, as they say, right? Happy home day. How's everybody doing? I hope you're staying cool. Oh. It's hot, man. It's really hot, you know. I don't know how the weather is over where you are, but it's so hot over here. It's not even funny. I'm like, what is going on? Hey, it be like say that they fry, they want roasts. I don't know. It's almost like the sun just came down and say, you know what? I'm coming to come and dwell in the midst of people today. That's what it feels like, at least to me, you know. So, my people, it's a great day to be here. Thank you all so much for joining me. I appreciate you guys so much. As always, thank you for your support. To all my new subscribers, welcome on board. Special greetings, special shout out to you guys. I don't take your support for granted. You guys, thank you so much. You know, we try to do what we can here. Everybody has a duty, everybody has a job to fulfill here. You know, we're trying to build a better country, a better Nigeria. At least let's do our part. Let's do the one we can do. The small one we fit do, make we do am. Welcome, Miss B. Greetings. Good to have you. Thank you for being here. Happy Wednesday, ma. Thank you very much. Yeah, so I'm going to start today by sharing a quick video with all of us, and then we're going to talk. I'm not going to be. This one is not going to be a long one. Hopefully.
To lovers of true democracy, please remain peaceful, but do not be silent. Do not despair. No matter what happens, you spoke up, and you should be celebrated. Despite being disenfranchised, despite being deprived of your rights to vote, you have held on. Silence in the face of injustice borders on consent or even complicity. To those of you who have been paid, I am not even mad at you. It just hurts that you refuse to see the scheme. We can't all jump on a bandwagon simply because it's the trendy thing to do. Democracy was murdered in a way Nigeria has never known in its recent history. And there will never be a justification for it. Nobody is more Nigerian than anybody simply because of an accident of birth. Ever heard of the bystander effect? Those who do nothing because it isn't popular to do anything suffer the consequences. Because before you know it, the oppressor sways your way of thinking. You may laugh at those fighting for your democracy now because your preferred candidate is in power. And you may feel more popular, more powerful. Some of those who were even at the forefront of the NSAS protests have suddenly been demonized. Why? Because we've all been brainwashed and divided. What changed between 2020 and now? The same democracy we were all crying for is what only some are still crying for, but alone. Some were bought over. Why? Because everybody has a price, right? And this is simply because it no longer suits your interest, or so you think. What happened to some of the Sorosuke, aka the coconut head generation? Are you suddenly afraid to speak? Why? Because it serves your interest, or have you just maybe completely given up on Nigeria? Well, let me tell you. The Sorosuke generation has fallen prey to being cheated. Obedience weren't the only ones cheated. We all were, because we've been robbed of true freedom. You may hate those speaking truth to power now, but two things are inevitable. Posterity will forever thank them, and your hatred of them will never ever match their love for Nigeria. These are people who have absolutely nothing to lose, but are fighting for you at the risk of their lives, their mental health, and their reputation. You laugh because the intimidation and suppression seem to have favored you. My prayer for you, however, is that you won't also face this level of injustice. And if you do, maybe, just maybe, they will have enough grace and strength to fight for you too.
In the words of the great Martin Luther King Jr., whatever affects one directly affects others indirectly. The violation of the rights of any group of people is a violation of the rights of all groups of people. And if after all the voter suppression, the voter intimidation, violence, the conspicuous rigging, the unfair disenfranchisement, if you still think these things are justifiable, then maybe, just maybe, Nigeria does deserve the kind of leaders.
So, Abi, una hear am now? Eh? Oh, okay, Miss B. Okay. I right, Jamaica and Nigeria has the same issues. Yeah, I mean, we gotta do better. We really have to. We really, really have to do better. We can't continue like this. I mean, it is not. It's not self-sustaining. You know, just like she said, there are people who are laughing, happy, just because they feel like, yeah, their so-called candidate that was imposed is seem to have be sitting there right now. They don't even know that this fight that we're fighting is for all of them. It's even for their own great grandchildren that they have not yet met. That's the sad part of all of this. You're fighting for, not because it's not like you're fighting, you're really fighting because you want people, you just want your country to be better. You want everybody to have a fair shot at life, and to achieve and be whatever they want to achieve. It's not even about, oh, my person I don't care if let me tell you the truth. People that are standing up for the truth and for justice and fairness, they don't have anything to gain or lose by doing it. To be honest, is everybody is fighting for fairness, for an opportunity to be heard. That's what they're fighting for, so that your own child can grow up in a sane environment where people are sane, and when they have the skills, they don't have to know someone who knows someone in order for them to get to a certain position. They can realize their potentials fully on their soil. That's the whole point of this. It's not about anyone. It's not about anyone. It's about what future do you want to leave for your children, the ones that you brought here by yourself. What kind of future, what kind of examples do you want to leave for them? See, me that I'm talking, I'm not perfect. I don't think any of us, nobody is perfect. But what is wrong is wrong. Will you see something that is wrong and intentionally, just because it's your candidate or your person or your tribe's person, and they do it a certain way different from you, so that justifies it? Is that what you really want? I don't think you want that. I don't think you want a life like that, to be honest with you. Because at the end of the day, guess who loses? You'll be long gone, but your children will be left behind, right? I know some of you want your children to go home, know where they come from, be able to relate with your people and all of that. But the question is, what are you doing in your own way to ensure that that happens? What are you putting in place? What are you putting in place? I see a lot of people in different on different social media platforms, you know, they're just, ripping each other apart, talking about, oh well, as long as it's my candidate, it's my person, we don't care, whatever. How can you say you don't care? Don't Is the suffering, are you not affected by the suffering? The price of petrol is not cheaper for anyone. Everybody, those who voted for Agbado, those who voted for Obi, those who voted for Atiku, those who voted for Kwankwaso, all of them, they are all buying petrol at 700, 800 per litre in a country that actually produces oil, in an oil producing country. And you have these few politicians who are enriching themselves. And I'm sure you guys are aware that these people are trying to increase, they want to give themselves the right to be able to increase their own salaries. Please, you that you're a worker in Nigeria, when was the last time your own salary was increased? With all the increases everywhere, nothing has changed for you. Nothing. You're still experiencing the suffering. Nothing has changed. You know, me, I don't have anything against anyone. It's not personal at all. In case some people think, oh, this is personal. It's not personal, though. Me, I sleep well at night. It's not personal to me at all, at all. I sleep very, very well at night. Trust me, I sleep well at night. I'm not moved by anything. All I do here is to, add my own voice, do my own little, whatever I can do. You understand? I'm just doing my own small thing that I can do. Maybe it's like a drop in an ocean, but I'm doing my part. I'm just playing my own role. You understand? I'm just doing my part, because if we do not start to work on our relationship with each other and do better by one another, how are we going to move forward? How are we going to move forward? Can we not all together agree that what's bad is bad and what's good is good? Do we have to fight to understand that something is bad? Doesn't matter whether it's your brother or your father or your whoever it's affected. As long as you know, okay, if your child does something wrong, are you going to say because that person is your child? Well, some parents don't spark their, or they don't correct their children. They don't correct their children. They don't see, they feel like their children can do no wrong. There's some people who are like that. Okay. But if you're a parent who wants your child to do better, right, and to be held accountable for their actions, you're not going to be pleased if your child does something that will bring embarrassment to you. You won't be happy. You know, the mindset in Nigeria needs to start to change. It's so bad. The mindset is so bad. Everybody is just doing whatever they like. Peter Obi cannot do it all. He can't do it all. If we're going to move the nation forward, we all have to be involved in the hard work of doing it. We have to. We can't leave it to him. People would say, oh well, I don't like politics, I don't want to be involved in politics. Well, do you want your country to move forward? Do you want things to improve? Whether you like it or not, you have to get involved. You have to get involved. I'm one of those people who, I don't, politics, I say, I beg. You grow up with this mindset that politics is a dirty game, is this, is that. But look at where the politics has brought us now. It has brought us to our knees. Just because we keep saying, oh, politics is a dirty game, we'll allow these people get away whatever they want to do. Look at where we are today. Are you proud of the Nigeria that you grew up in? Even though it wasn't perfect in your time, it certainly wasn't perfect in my own time. There are grandparents, great grandparents who had it very easy. They didn't even pay anything for education. Government sponsored their education. They went anywhere in the world they wanted to go. And they had money, cash to spend as well. As soon as they were done with school, jobs were waiting for them. Whatever happened to that? Why is it that their own time, their own generation did not prepare anything for their children or their children's children? Let me play another video and then we're going to talk and then we're going to keep moving forward.
Are calling on the state government to stop further demolition and compensate those whose property were destroyed. The call was made at a conference on good governance appraisal in Kano State. Stakeholders are also calling for the chairman of the Kano Public Complaints and Anti-Corruption Commission to be sacked. Our rights correspondent Ayo Adenaye has more.
Demolition of property and structures by the administration of Governor Abba Yusuf has recently put Kano on the spotlight. The governor believes the property were allegedly built on government-owned
ownership and possession of same. Well, the case has been adjourned to 22nd of September.
Oil theft is a recurring problem in Nigeria. It's largely responsible for the erosion of the country's wealth over the years. The arrest and destruction of a rogue vessel in Escravos, Delta State, a few days ago has thrown up the question, when will it end? Well, the chairman of the Bayelsa State Traditional Rulers Council, King Mubarai Dakolo, thinks that President Bola Tinubu can bring crude oil theft to an end if he wants to do so. The ex-soldier and author of the book, The Riddle of the Oil Thief, also expresses some reservations about the action of setting the vessel on fire.
Why should that vessel be set ablaze? The reason is obvious, so that they don't get to the big men who are behind oil theft in Nigeria. This is a good example to tell the entire country that the oil thieves are big men, big enough. International governments, governments of foreign countries are involved, NNPC is involved, and many more are involved. If the president is ready to stop oil thievery, it will stop. If it does not stop, it is because he doesn't want it to stop. So it is when that desire to stop it comes that technology and every other thing will follow. I mean, 2 weeks is too much. 2 weeks is actually too much. If the matching orders are given, I can bet you.
The National Examination Council has released the results of the 2023 examination to...
Okay, I was trying to get the full video of that particular interview. Guys, it was very scathing. Let me try and pull that interview up. I was actually trying to pull that interview. Let me see if I can pull this. Let me play this. Let me just play the clips I found on this.
Two with 150,000 metric tons. To put it clearly, that is about 1,600,000 barrels. And that amounts to well over $100 million, which runs into billions of naira. That is the amount or the value of what was inside there. That is also approximately what Nigeria produces in a day. Okay, about 1.8 million barrels. So that's about what Nigeria produces in a day. It takes a while to load the whole of that volume. And so definitely it must have been loaded somewhere that is an authorized loading bay. And so the authorities of NNPC were supposed to know, and I think they know. And then, of course, usually in all of those places, there are law enforcement, at the terminus or the terminals. So definitely all of these agencies knew that this was taking place. However, let's give benefit of doubt to the establishment that arrested it, and then to the JTF that has also arrested the people. But Setting that particular vehicle or vessel ablaze is completely out of 2023. It is something that should happen in maybe 1440 or 1450. This is 2023. We are talking about ozone layer depletion. We are talking about Nigeria not having all the money we should have for our welfare. And then you burn off billions of naira, multi-millions of dollars worth of crude, and then in the process, poison us. It's completely unacceptable. It is something that has to stop. The federal government, the presidency has to issue a quick order that they should stop burning or wasting our resources in that manner. And in the process, for those of us in the Niger Delta, as you burn it, you are polluting us, you are destroying us, you are killing us, you are destroying the entire environment. Killing us, you are destroying the entire environment. What is the difference between any other vandal and then the authorized vandals in this particular case? Because setting that quantity of crude oil ablaze was as good as asphyxiating the entire Niger Delta. And you may not believe it, but several persons are going to die out of asthma and such diseases in the next couple of days. That is a fact about it. And then, of course, if you want to properly prosecute, there's no excuse to say they changed name somewhere and then they changed name somewhere and so on and so forth. If you know they changed name and you have grabbed the evidence, it is for you to follow international standard manner of investigating and prosecuting. Going in this crude manner of setting the vehicle ablaze is not good enough. Of course, the vehicle is going to eventually sink and be in that waterway and constitute nuisance to fishermen. Of course, the fishermen have to be Niger Delta fishermen, and also constitute nuisance to fishermen, constitute nuisance to those who use the waterways forever. So I think that was not necessary.
Okay. I would also like to ask you, why is it that we've not been able to crack these big men that do all of this?
Exactly.
Because just like the other incidents we've had, we parade a couple of people that were in the vessel, which are not the real people doing this, which are just those that work for the people doing this. Why is it that we don't know the big men that exist that are doing all of this in Nigeria? Is it that we don't know the local partners to the other foreigners? Is it that we don't have adequate facts on them? When are we going to take one big man in this country perpetrating this, not all these workers?
Well, I can tell you for free that vehicle was burnt because it was cheaper to burn it than to rein in the oil thief that is behind it all. Usually what Nigeria has done in the last several decades is to parade a young, helpless, improperly educated.
Hi.
Another one, the MT Tura 2, with 150,000 metric tons. To put it clearly, that is about 1,600,000 barrels. And that amounts to well over 100.
1 second. I think we already listened to this. Let me see. Let me just make sure because I'm playing clips, guys. So bear with me. I'm trying to get to the part where he got to the very.
This is just a game, and we are here made to be distracted for nothing.
Well, so many solutions have been proposed. Some people have said, deploy technology, use satellite imaging, and you'll be able to solve the problem. But you are saying that, look, there's still that individual element in it, political will to solve the problem. We have a new president, President Tinubu. One of the things is, you will have to deal with is this big elephant in the room about oil theft. What will you recommend to him personally? Because it looks like from what you have said,
Well, what I will
political will
tell
is
the
central.
president of Nigeria, yes, that is the first thing. In fact, that is the only thing. If the president is ready to stop oil thievery, it will stop. If it does not stop, it is because he doesn't want it to stop. Because it is when he says, I want it to stop. I mean, ask people. I am a member of 38 regular corps, okay? I was a Burmese. Ask my juniors, they know. If I say stop, they know I mean it and you will stop. If Mr. President says he wants it to stop, and he tells the CDS, for instance, that he wants it to stop, it stops. I can bet you that it will stop. So it is when that desire to stop it comes that technology and every other thing will follow. But I tell you that the other distraction for the low level, for instance, is the fact that the economy is not an economy to be proud of. So if I am as good as dead, for instance, and like myself, I'm actually within 500 meters radius of the most polluting gas flare in the entire universe, in the entire Milky Way.
Chai.
Maybe they are giving the equipment and sponsor to do a few things. When the economy is so bad, when they are not as aware of the damage they are causing to themselves and the environment and the world, they may be distracted. So, is the president ready to fix the economy? The economy is also fixable. It's not rocket science. It is about getting our best. And you must know that Nigerians are about the best in this world. Go to America, look for the most complicated places. You will see a black man, and that black man is a Nigerian. Go to England, look for the most complicated places where the normal Igbo people are not able to function. You have Nigerians. We're everywhere, the best doctors in this world, the best engineers. Go to NASA, you have Nigerians. So, in terms of fixing the Nigerian economy, I think we have a Nigerian lady at WTO, top, the highest level in the world. We have the best young men and old men and middle-aged men and women of Nigerian origin who can fix this economy within a few months. Now, when you fix the economy, the beauty of fixing the economy is that most young people will be so gainfully engaged that they won't be distracted by the lure of someone big man throwing some few dollars at them, giving them Kalashnikovs, and then, of course, giving them drugs. You must know that at the menacing level, there is free flow of banned substances called drugs. Of course, these are supposed to be contained by a federal government agency called the NDLA. These are supposed to be contained by a federal government agency called Custom Services, Custom and Excise. They're supposed to stop it. Or perhaps the police. So when they fail, and there are guns everywhere, there are drugs everywhere, and of course, some big man brings to them a few dollars, and then the purpose-built equipment for any type of whatever you call it. Then, of course, they become vulnerable. And that is why I say that these guys, these smaller ones, are supposed to be rehabilitated. Let the presidency be firm about it if they're serious. And of course, there are people, even among the traditional rulers, who are ready to give support. Here I am, ready to give the right.
Now, wow, Nigeria mindset, man. The mindset, we need work.
Even among the traditional rulers, who are ready to give support. Here I am, ready to give the right type of advice if you ask me. And there are people, like I said, I know people in the military service, those who are retiring, those who are in service, that can do this job. I mean, 2 weeks is too much. 2 weeks is actually too much.
On that note,
if the marching orders are given.
On that note, Your Majesty, thank you very much. And just before we go, someone sent me a text saying, "Oh, MT Heroic Idun was not the vessel that was intercepted." I never said it was. The name is MT Heroic Idun. MT Heroic Idun was the one that was intercepted in November 2022. That's what I said. The name of this current vessel is MT Dema. Okay, just for the benefit of our viewers who may not have listened very well. But thank you very much, Your Majesty, for joining us on the morning show. Thank you.
are serious. And of course,
Hi. Now, wow. There was a particular portion of that interview that I wanted to play, but I don't know if it's this one. Um, Bear with me, guys.
to rein in the oil thief, to rein in the oil thief that is behind it all. Usually, what Nigeria has done in the last several decades is to parade a young, helpless, improperly educated, jobless youth from the Niger Delta as the typical thief. But I argue that such a person shouldn't be called a thief. He should be rehabilitated. He belongs to a place where you have to educate him, reorientate him, and make him a patriotic Nigerian. He is a victim of oil thieves. Today, you may need to hear that the real thief of oil is someone who has a yacht, is someone who has a golf course, is someone who cannot sleep a night in the Niger Delta because of mosquitoes and insecurity, is someone who has properties in London, in Banana Island, in Abuja, in Frankfurt, in New York City. Those are the thieves. They have a lot of money. You may want to imagine the Joint Task Force for Prevention of Oil Thievery and Vandalism in the Niger Delta came as far ago as 1998. That is 25 years ago. And I can tell you for free that go to Krikri prison, go to Port Harcourt prison, go to Kogi prison, go to Kuje prison. You won't find any big oil thief. None. And even for their boys, when they are caught, they find a way and just die it, And so even this one, now that the vessel is burnt and the crude burnt and so on and so forth, after once or twice, even Rufai won't talk about it again. So that is the game. That is the story. The authorities know clearly who are behind it. The last time, I think someone came on TV and showed clearly where all the stolen oil goes to. This particular oil, if you had allowed it, will have gone to either Britain or gone to America or gone to China or gone to India. They go to these places, these vehicles are big enough, the world knows them. So everyone that is in authority knows them. And myself, but they are well known. So those are the real oil thieves. The subsidy thieves, the subsidy racketeers. They're not saying, okay, you want subsidy to go. What of those who have been milking the system for the last several decades, who brought in one shipload in, collected money for 10 shiploads, who brought no shipload, perfected papers, and collected money for 20 shiploads, and the racketing has been going on and on and on. And so if you just stop so-called oil subsidy and no one is going in for it, what have you done? Billions have been stolen. Nigerians have been fleeced. That is the game. It goes on. Those in authority, I can bet you, they know who does it and who does not do it. And the reason why they prefer to present the face of a young, uneducated, unemployed person from the Niger Delta as a thief is to distract the world, because it looks more menacing and more interesting to see someone that has no shot, that is beating cancer every day in the name of crude oil theft, a few jerry cans, and then people will take shiploads. You can imagine a group of persons were taking away what Nigeria produces in a day in one ship. And the Nigerian authorities want to pretend that they don't know who are doing it. They don't know the terminal where it was loaded. Don't tell me that again. I don't want to hear that. Of course, you may also need to go and read the book, The Riddle of the Oil Thief. The whole story is there. It's a riddle. It's a game where you distract the entire world to believing that someone else is the one that is stealing the oil when the main man is feeding fat and walking about free. In which country, in which home will someone set his village, his house ablaze because there's a rat inside? Will set his house ablaze because a snake has entered inside? It's never done. Why should that vessel be set ablaze?
Well,
The reason is obvious, so that they don't get to the big men who are behind oil theft in Nigeria. This is a good example to tell the entire country that the oil thieves are big men, big enough. International governments of foreign countries are involved, NNPC is involved, and many more are involved.
This is a skating interview. I mean, the guy spared nothing. He spared nothing. I have to say, I really, really, really appreciate the audacity of people coming forward right now. I think Nigerians are beginning to understand. Let's listen to the
Oil
next
theft in
one.
Nigeria. This is a good example to tell the entire country that the oil thieves are big men, big enough. International governments of foreign countries are involved, NNPC is involved, and many more are involved. And you know them all as well. You don't need to get it out of my mouth, but these are the facts about it.
Well, Your Majesty, well, will your reaction be different? Because you
please.
calculated the cost of the crude oil in the vessel. Will your reaction be different if before destroying the vessel, the crude oil was evacuated by the Nigerian authorities? Because you raised concern about asthma and pollution. That just clarification. But then the question I wanted to ask you is about this redo of the oil thief. What's your assessment of the role of these private contractors in helping to resolve that redo? Because now we have private contractors who are monitoring the waters, and in this particular case, Tantiana, is claiming the credit for helping the Nigerian government to intercept this particular vessel stealing crude oil. What do you think of the role of those, non-state actors helping to monitor? You think they can resolve the redo?
Well, for me, it underscores how low the Nigerian state has descended, where it seems to have lost faith in our law enforcement to the level where you want private, perhaps not so well-trained hands to help you do the job. It is so because, first and foremost, our economy is in tatters. Economy is in tatters. There is no job for people normally. And so everyone wants to look at, how to make a living out of everything. And so, you want to engage people in that manner. First and foremost, if the government of Nigeria were able economy is in tatters, there is no job for people normally. And so everyone wants to look at, how to make a living out of everything. And so, you want to engage people in that manner. First and foremost, if the government of Nigeria were able to get the economy of Nigeria working to the point where it was $1 to a naira, I can tell you that people will not want to go and vandalize oil facilities or oil installations. So I think that we should work towards that. If the Nigerian economy becomes robust, I can tell you that most persons will not want to get interested in what they are being contracted to do today. What the Nigerian state ought to do is to equip the Navy, give them more funds, equip law enforcement, give them more funds and more training to be professional. Bringing in hands that are not as trained, so to speak, to come and do a job meant for the Navy, for instance, is an insult to the Nigerian state and an insult to the Navy. I think that the Nigerian state will benefit more if they pump in some more resources to the Navy and give them the marching order that if we hear this, we see this, this will be the action or the reaction. And I think that they can do that so very well. So that is the way to go. Right now, what you are seeing is an aberration that shouldn't be seen, shouldn't be told. They should actually have been faceless. The best they should have done would have been to give intelligence, so to speak, to the official law enforcement group, in this particular case, perhaps the Navy or the Joint Task Force, for instance. That is the way to go. But unfortunately, we came down the spiral to that point because the economy has actually been nosediving. I hope that this new administration will be able to take back the naira to be equivalent to the dollar so that young men.
Oh, Nigeria, I hail you. I hail you. My people, now see say the work plenty. See the vessel when dem dey burn. Meanwhile, people dey suffer. Dem dey sell petrol 700 naira per litre, 1000. Dem dey burn oil because dem no wan reveal the truth. Ó mà ṣe o. In fact I don't know, it's sometimes I wonder, honestly. I really do. Can you guys hear me okay? So I had to change my device. Can you guys hear me? Welcome, Mr. Jonathan. Can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you.
Welcome. Oh, good evening, my brother.
Thank you. How are you?
I'm very well, thank you. How are you?
Yes, I can hear you.
Okay. How are you? How are you doing?
Yeah, doing very well. Thanks.
That's good.
Yeah, thanks. Yeah, man. Thanks for the job. Thanks for the job you are doing.
Mr. Jonathan, this work, we everybody needs to be all hands on deck. This is what this work is. Nobody can afford to sleep on this. Did you just hear the clips I play? I'm sure you must have seen the entire video by
Yes,
now.
yes,
But it's
yes.
quite disturbing. The work we have to, the mindset in Nigeria. I titled my show today, Mindset, Location, Nigeria. Something needs to be done. The mindset in Nigeria is disturbing. Because even when you go to the marketplace, you see this oil thing that people are complaining about, they're burning the ship. But isn't that what people do even on a regular basis? When you go to the market, somebody will take something that belongs to someone else just because they don't want to return it, they will ruin it. Or they will throw it away because they don't want to come out with the truth.
That's true.
You understand? Because this thing, if we keep looking at the top, we keep looking at, oh, you know what, the people is the this, but the truth is, what about the regular people? Because you go to the market, for instance, now you want to go and buy a cup of beans or a cup of gari. You go there, you tell the mama or whoever is selling, I want a cup of gari. You know, inside that cup, I'm sure you already know. I'm just preaching to the choir right now. I know I sound like a broken record, but it's worth reiterating. People, instead of sending you a full cup of gari or rice, they would cheat you out of it. So they will make it such that they will build something extra in between. So you're not getting a full cup actually, you're just getting half cup.
That's Nigeria for you. It's all over. It is all over. It is something that is embedded.
Why is your thing echoing? Or is it me? Maybe I should mute. Maybe that's why.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. It's like. Is it okay now? Can you hear me? Yeah. Okay. It's embedded into the system, into the culture. It has become a culture for Nigerians, and you see, it is for me. I believe it is just sometimes initially it's like, oh, you don't have to blame the people because the system has forced people. It's a system that has forced them, turned them to become criminals. just to, so to say, because they are looking for a way out. Everybody is looking for a way out. There is nothing to rely on. The system cannot help them. The government cannot bail them out. You are on your own. So right from the woman that is selling gari or rice on the side of the road is looking for a way to cheat. It's looking for a way to, all those artisans, people that you will call the bricklayer, the carpenter, all of them, they will not give you the right bill. They will look for a way to manipulate. They will look for a way to cheat you. So it is a culture that is embedded into the Nigerian system, and it has become the order of the day, to the point where if you want to do anything in Nigeria, you will even factor their own in. If you know that this thing is going to cost me 100,000 naira, you will factor that, okay, this guy is going to add his own, as if it is normal. Add his own. That's those two words is going to add his own. So let me just add another 30 or 50,000 because they will add their own. If you call somebody in Nigeria now and you give them
Mr. Jonathan, let me just interject something really quickly, right? Where you just said, now I'm going to mute again. I don't know why your thing is echoing, but in any case, so I have a relative who was they live in Lagos. They're trying to rent a place. They found a place. They paid, the landlord said 2 years. They paid 2 years. Okay. The place that they rented, there's no toilet. The kitchen is not done. They had to take, after paying millions for the rent, they had to take out of their pocket again. They told the landlord kept saying, I will come, I will send somebody today, send somebody tomorrow. How can you be living in a house? There's no bathroom, there's no kitchen. They had to take money that they don't have to fix up the bathroom, right? The toilet, and fix up the kitchen. The landlord, as we speak till today, never showed up. But after the rent expires, he's going to expect more. And on top of it, the man is telling them that he wants to increase it. Go ahead. Let me mute.
Nigeria for you. You will say that's Nigeria for you. There is no standard. What you just described now is that there is no standard in Nigeria. No standard at all. If you want to rent in Nigeria, it is just like you come and rent, and then you take care of every other thing yourself. They don't care. There is no standard at all. Again, that culture of add your own. I have to add. If you want to rent, and they tell you that, okay, per annum is 2 million. That is the rent, and then you are going to pay for 2 years, and then you are going to pay agent and all the rest, and then you cost everything. Okay, this thing is going to cost about 5 million naira. See, you must add another 2 million if you want to live as a normal human being in that property, whether it's an apartment or an office. You will have to add another 2 million because you will see you have to renovate the entire thing. In fact, you have to in fact, you will just renovate for the landlord entirely. You will renovate for the landlord. That's why in most cases, people that come from abroad, they will say when they are renting, they want a new property. It has to be new. If it is not new, I don't want it. If I will pay more, I will pay more. Because if you rent those old ones, in Nigeria, and it is the same culture, there is no maintenance at all. When it comes to maintenance, that one is a disease. It's a disease that has, like a cancer that has ravaged the whole system all over. There is no maintenance. And when they build a new structure today in Nigeria, if you see the outside, fine. When you go, it's just like the same system, the government system, the governmental system also. You will look them on the outside. They will conduct themselves as normal human beings. They will do press conferences. They will come out, they will analyze stuff. They will speak like normal people. When you get inside, it is rotten. The system is rotten, completely rotten. It's the same way when you just want to rent just an ordinary house, the outside will be fine. Oh, this is a nice. And you know what? I'm not talking of just any neighborhood in Lagos. So we are talking of all those. Go to Ikoyi in Lagos to rent a place, an office in Ikoyi in Lagos. the toilet will be like a prison yard. What is a prison yard? A prison yard is even better. You will see, but this is Ikoyi now. How is this thing like this? You have to do everything. It is only the name. You just okay because you are what you are paying for is the location. That it can, oh, where is the office? You are brandishing that business card. My office is at Adetokunbo Ademola in VI and all the rest of it. That office, you know that you pay through your nose. I'm talking from experience. So you pay through your nose to restructure the whole thing. You can spend like about 10-15 million to bring it to a level where you can bring normal people there. That will be presentable. That will be presentable because the type of people that you want to bring, you want to bring them to a place but that place, when you get there in the first place, even your dog cannot live in that place. I'm telling you, in places they call it Koivi, forget it. Forget about all those. You go there, you see all those, structure, in Ikoyi and all the rest. Forget it. When you get inside, when you go inside that structure, you will know that, oh my God, you have to do everything, and that is just the way it is, and it has eaten into the system. It is from the bottom down. The government, as I said, they talk as if when they talk as if Nigeria is a normal clime, is a normal place. When they talk about economic policies, the way they want to do it, it's not going to be. And you know what? Those gullible Nigerians they just believe them, they just go for them all their lives, they just as if it is normal, and they say, okay, we'll see how it goes. It's not going to happen. All those things they are brandishing is not going to happen. They can come out and paint it and it looks good. Like they come out as normal human beings. These people are rotting. They can't do anything. The video you just showed, all these things, this oil theft of a thing. See, Rufai, in fact, again, I give it up for Rufai. See, the day they are ready to stop oil thefts and illegal bunkering in Nigeria, the day they are ready, that thing will vanish. It's not a rocket science. When they are ready, that thing will vanish. It's not because see, unfortunately, however, that thing they call Nigeria now, the present structure called Nigeria now, that oil bunkering or oil theft, in fact, they are taking it to another level. It will not stop. With the present Nigeria, how? A normal human being with normal sense, how will it stop? Tell me. A corrupt person is going to investigate a corrupt person. A thief will stop a thief. How can that be? It is not possible. The whole thing must be wiped out completely. Who is going to investigate who? Because they are all part of the problem. Parading innocent, young, vulnerable, people as victims, as the real criminal. That one is a non-starter. In fact, that's a norm in Nigeria, That's a norm. The police will just brandish, they will just bring out. In fact, they will go and bring them. They know where they will go and get them. They will bring them, they will parade them, they will say these are the criminals and everything. When we all know that is not, they know the real thieves. They know them. Do you know that the Western countries, do you know that when they are fighting any criminal issue in their country, take drug for example, they don't fight it from the inside from their country. They go to that country, that other side that is enabling that thing to happen. That's where they will go and fight it from. Nigeria knows where all this, they know the destination where all these things, instead of them to shout to go to World Trade Organization, go to United Nations, go and shout there and say, this country, ABC, our oil they are bringing them to your country. These are the numbers, these are the statistics, these are the date and time they brought them. Why are you accepting, stolen whatever in your country? You have to work with us together with your intelligence. But they will not do that. When they talk of drugs, in fact, you all know that they pursue the buyer much more than the seller. They go after the buyer. In the United States, for example, if a buyer of a drug, they'll say somebody who is buying, they go after them much more than the seller of the drug. It's Nigeria. So what are we talking about? PO said, Peter Obi said during the campaign, and he said it more than one occasion, that crude oil theft is not like you are stealing a car. It's not a popcorn. It is massive. It takes hours, if not days, to fill a tanker of 500 to 600 barrel capacity. It is not something that you just come and that you just do a brisk business, that you just come in, just load in within some 1 hour. No, this thing are massive ship. At least I've had at least two opportunities to actually witness two of those things at Apapa Port. Those things are massive. Like when they are loading them, those things are massive. They are, even when they are offloading them to all these terminals, those are big terminals. Those tanks can be there for 3-4 days, still offloading, and then they will come to a country that has navy with naval structure, that they spend billions of naira on, but they have billions of budget every year, and they will tell me that one country will come, a ship will come onto your waters. They have it's like a thief coming to your house, and then he just come in there, free, do everything he wants to do, and then you are just looking, and then you will come out and cry the next day. Thief has come to my house, and then the next day again, the thief comes again, and then you come out and cry again. Thief has come. At a point in time, people will start asking you, we think probably you have some connection with this thief, because this thief the way this thief have access to your house is becoming questionable now. That's just the way this whole thing is. So it's just so sickening. It's so sickening. And the only way this oil bunkering, oil theft can stop in Nigeria, there has to be a total wipeout of the current structure. Complete total wipeout. If we still have this present dispensation, because they are the ones stealing it. They are not ghosts. They know themselves. I've never had one person, one name. Let them bring out one name and bring it out to the public, and let them, to face the law. It has never happened. So it's just we're in a big, it's like it's a serious thing, and the West is just they are the one fueling this thing. They are the one fueling this problem. See, the day Nigeria wakes up and oil theft in Nigeria become a thing of the past, the economy of the West, those countries, they know themselves. The major ones, they know themselves. See, the price of they are selling oil per liter or per gallon. We see how it will shut up, how it will go up. They will have to go and start. They will, in fact, as they say, they will leak the ass of Saudi Arabia much more the day Nigeria wakes up, because they have to go to Saudi Arabia and beg them, because what they are using to augment the shortfall is those stolen ones they are getting from Nigeria. Nigeria in particular, just to be specific now, those stolen oil. Because you see, when they steal this oil from Nigeria, they don't sell it to them at the regular international market price of $80, $90 per barrel. It's a deal. They get it for $50, $60. So it's just a fast business that they do, and that's what. And they will come, they will load, they will go and offload. And this thing is not like there's no way a ship of that size, even the smallest of ship on the water, these things are monitored. They are monitored. As you stand now, you can actually track ships that are on the waters. It's not rocket science. You can track it, you can know. People know their destination, they know where they, where they take off, and they know they know their destination, the date and time of arrival and everything. All these things are all there. So it's just, in fact, a serious government in Nigeria can even go after all these companies and claim all their money back. If we have a serious government, all the stolen oil, crude oil that have been stolen from Nigeria, we know that you are the buyer. We know the date and time. We know the destination. We know the refinery that took it. So we want our money back. All the differences, we want our money back. Nigeria can still go after them in international court, take them to the World Trade Organization, and fight for every dime. It is still possible, but that's, unfortunately, we can only expect that when not under this present thing called Nigeria, not this one called Nigeria. It will be a complete change, a new structure, completely, a complete set of people. We can only hope. For me, I hope, I pray that we will get Peter Obi, to lead that country, to bring that sigh of relief and hope back to Nigeria, and then we can start. Then all these things we can begin to hope that all these things can happen. Stop oil theft, bring Nigeria back, and all the rest of. And most importantly, bring all these people to book. Each and every one of them must be brought to face the law. That's the only way that country can get anything back. It's so serious, so serious.
What you just said, it trickles down. Apart from that whole oil theft, it trickles all the way down. All the way down. I read somewhere, or I saw a video recently where a child, small pikin, he kpai him mama. He kpai him mama because of money. Recent story for Nigeria. This thing has eroded. It's so hard. It has eroded. My goodness. Peter Obi this election really exposed many things for Nigeria, my people. Honestly, he exposed the roots of corruption for that country. The whole place, they smell, the stench.
That's correct.
The mindset, I wonder, I sit down, I think, I say, how people mindset want to change? How? When we say ordinary person for streets, even hawker, person when they hawk something for street, you can't trust them. That they sell, or only them that they go sell fake this thing give you, fake medicine give you. When what do they call this woman? Is it Okonjo Iweala? When she did around that time, God rest her soul. Now so she did after NAFDAC. If to say not be that woman, many people for don't buy. But since the woman don't pass now,
yes.
all the work when they do to ensure that they do not bring in fake drugs, all that one has gone. Look at people just they drop like flies on top of fake drugs for Nigeria, fake medicine when you take heal yourself. No accountability. When they talk about government, the root, the even baby now when they born, let's say that they corrupt come out because of the system. So my question now,
I have something to say on that.
go ahead. Yeah, Dora Akuyili, thank you very much. Thank you. Hey, I beg, Okonjo while I still alive. Oh, I beg. I always mix their name up. Yeah, Dora Akuyili. Yes. Thank you very much, Ebi. I beg. Oh, hey, I take them back. Okonjo while I still very much alive. I love her. I really love her. Thank you very much, Quinty. I beg make no verse, so I always mix their names up. More than no verse, I beg. I don't withdraw them. I withdraw them back. Okonjo Iweala is still alive, strong, thriving, powerful woman. Nothing. That woman will lift you till 150. We need her around to help us get our system back running. I beg, I beg, I beg. Not Okonjo Iweala, Dora, Miss Dora Akuyili. Yes. Eh? Please go ahead, Mr. Jonathan. You said you wanted to say
You see,
something.
for that woman, first let me even add. You see that woman, may her soul rest in peace. See, in Nigeria back then, we used to drink Coca-Cola. This Coca-Cola. If not for that woman, Coca-Cola for don't even wreck my own family. Is that woman? See, that Coca-Cola, we drink. We used to drink a lot. This Coca-Cola a lot. My wife would drink this Coca, and we started noticing that this thing is so addictive, and it's like you get sick all the time. What is happening? It wasn't long that this woman just came out and they went to Coca-Cola in Nigeria and she threatened. Well, it's not a threat. In fact, because she meant everything. She said she's going to shut down Coca-Cola in Nigeria. What are you people? We thought it was only maybe, we're just few people complaining, not knowing that this thing was killing a lot of people in Nigeria. And this woman said she's going to shut down Coca-Cola in Nigeria. She gave Coca-Cola like a deadline, what they must do. And it was that time in Nigeria, you remember at the time they now started using, she gave, first of all, the first deadline, she gave them a deadline when they must stop all this bottle thing. This bottle, we use bottle. And then he gave them a deadline that they are using these breakable bottles. And they gave them a deadline that they must start using plastic. Not knowing that, you see, whether it is the way they watch those, when they wash them and recycle and clean those things, we don't know the chemicals they are using to wash those things. This thing was, immediately they started using that plastic bottle, everything stopped. Everything stopped. So just to mention that woman, she did a lot. I mean, in Nigeria, she did a lot. And even what she did, they are still carrying it on till now. But they cannot sustain it all. The whole mess is there. People are dying a lot because there is poverty in the land. What do you expect for people? How do you expect them to buy? You see, most of these drugs are imported. Most of them are imported drugs. And when people don't have, what do you expect them to do? The prices of these drugs have now doubled, in many cases triple. And it's an opportunity for all these bad dealers to come in and be selling fake ones, giving them that alternatives. And people are buying them. Unfortunately, that is where we find ourselves in Nigeria. So I just want to, just to add to that. On this, you also talked about this, children, because that's so funny that even from whom they are even corrupt, even before, that one. I was actually thinking about that today. Just today, I was thinking about it, that the immorality is so much to the extent that you will see a 15-year-old, because in Nigeria now, the immorality has extended to that point where you even see a 15-year-old, 14-year-old doing such thing that will say, what? 15, 16-year-old. Then I started thinking, it won't be far now that it is even people, a 1-year-old now. We'll be talking of a 1-year-old with more. Where are we going? Actually, I was thinking about that just today. I said, this thing is so bad that very soon now, it is from pregnancy. They will say, the moment they give birth, you are already seeing immorality. I say, then we don't buy for that country. Let everybody just go and sleep.
Yes, exactly. Exactly. That's what, because I see that and they think the matter. I see the mindset for Nigeria is the corruption is so deep, is so deeply rooted, that it's not it won't be shocking. Babies are going to be coming out corrupt because of the system. You know how deep this corruption has gone? How can people be stealing oil? See the size of that ship, and they go claim say they no know for country wey be like Nigeria. When we say without that oil, the so-called politician, they no go see anything to thief. Sandra says one of her daughters is whose daughter Whose daughter are you referring to? Sandra. Welcome, by the way. You know, it's really, I just sit down, they think, I say, we need to start working on the mindset of the people in Nigeria itself. You know, because for Nigeria, you know, now, no, and I should say a lot now, go fit relate with this. There's a sense of, what's it called? Um, there's a lack of contentment amongst the people. There is a sense of, I want to be better than my neighbor, you know, I better pass my neighbor. There is that you know, hey, this person, oh, it big pass my own, so me go do the one way go big passing on. You see that mindset, it need to be changed. How we want to start to dey do the work, because it's better we just start, make we know what we dey do, because everybody get work to do for here. This work, not be one person own, no, not be two people own. Everybody on this table. How do you begin to change the mindset of the people to start to appreciate dignity in labor? That whatever you are doing, you can succeed in it. If you put your heart to it and you are committed to it, you will eventually be successful. It might take a little bit of time. And you have to understand, people have to start understand, because what I'm seeing in Nigeria is that people don't understand that everybody's time is different. Everybody wants to just arrive at a destination at the same time. Look at this whole BBL issue, for instance. Now, recently there was a video, I think one of these actors did, I can't remember his name now, of a young girl that just spied because she went to do BBL. Her boyfriend told her to do BBL. He do BBL finish, her backside come dey smell. The boy come dey run from her. They can't carry her go hospital, so make you go fix whatever was leaking. The girl not come out of her. Where do we start from? Because if the mindset not change, right? All this one they fight for right now, the same people who they fight for now, then go see. So it is very important for us to start reaching out to the mindset of people. So you have family back home, you have relatives. I know sometimes they not go here, but do your part, because see, now citizenship work now we dey for here, not be government. Government not fit do this one finish. I'm sorry. Government not go teach market woman how not to cheat you. Instead we go sell you a full cup of garri when you say you won't buy, he go give you half because you won't make double money. You won't make double money. You know, say now some people they buy fake rice. They go, you go buy rice for market, you think na rice, they mix am with things. You buy rice finish, reach house, come discover say no be rice, na another thing then you buy. You see, the mindset is messed up in Nigeria. Thanks to the politicians, so because their hand na heavy pass for all of this. You go give politician work to do, your local government chairman. Instead when you go do the work, you go pocket the money. He go take care of only himself and his family. He go throw trickles down to people. Those ones go they dobale for, they go they praise him, they thank him as if he build mansion, he do massive thing for them. They go accept the crumbs when he throw at them instead of demanding. How do we begin to change the mindset of the people to understand that all these things that they're doing, they're actually doing it to themselves? Because clearly it is happening to every one of them right now. It's when you're pointing the finger, the rest is pointing at you. Go ahead, Mr. Jonathan.
You have actually, kind of answered the basic, the most important, or what I would call the basic part of that. See, because in the fundamental side of it is dignity in labor to really solve this problem. But to even come to that, see, the problem of Nigerians where they display wealth in the midst of poverty. People display wealth in the midst of poverty. That is the reason why their better part my neighbor mantra has become the order of the day. Because you will see people, somebody in the midst of poverty, abject poverty, you will see one guy that he will go and build his house right in the midst of that place, and people will be seeing him as the Alpha and the Omega. What do you expect the other people? That's the mindset. That's how they build this mindset of me too, I have to get this. Me too, I have to do this. And you will see somebody, he will be riding SUV in the midst, and in that neighborhood where he's living. If you get there, in fact, you will, if you go there with your own car, you have to park like 1 mile for you to walk to where he lives, because the road is bad. And it is on that road that is driving his SUV every day. And if you look right, left on that neighborhood, they are all poor people. And they are all poor people. It is only Okada and Keke Marua that you see all over the place. And he's driving his SUV around them all over the place. They display wealth. They derive pleasure in displaying wealth in the midst of poverty. That is them. That's how to correct this mindset. That is the starting point for me. You see, and that has become, the culture, in Nigeria. In those days, even in the 80s, it was still better, because when you really see people that are rich, there are certain places that you have to go to when you will really see wealth. Today, you will see somebody, he has nothing, but the little that he has, he will display it in the midst of. That is why you see 419. That is why you see people want to cheat at all costs, because I have to do the same thing. I have to, it is just that bad. That is it. And and then the other part which you mentioned, that dignity of labor, that is where the government has a big role to play. In the West here, for me, when I first came to the Western world, one thing that surprised me, and I went back, when I went back home, I was telling everybody, it's like, I've never seen this before. This is surprising to me. I've never seen it. I was saying it over and over again, like I become a preacher. I said, do you know that in the West, do you know that I see a painter, somebody, or a construction worker who has gone to work from 9 to 5 and is coming back home, and he entered the bus and people just sat, beside him. Normal. In fact, people respect him so much. They are giving him so much respect. I see a painter. They gave him so much respect because, he was still wearing his work uniform with his steel-toe boot and everything, and he was coming. He was so respected. I said, are they giving these people so much respect like this? I discovered that that is what is called dignity in labor. People respect labor because the role that person is playing in the economy. He goes out, he works, to take care, to put food on the table for himself, for his family. He's paying his taxes. People, that is dignity in labor. In my own client, where I come from, a carpenter who born you, a painter, a bricklayer, the way people will even look at you from head to toe as if you are nobody. That is dignity in labor, to bring it to the grassroots of it. And it is the role of government, where government will ensure that even if you are a carpenter, in some instances, a carpenter, a bricklayer is even any more than a banker. That is what dignity. That is when people will begin to appreciate that. Forget it. You can come out every morning and put on suit and everything. It doesn't matter. People know what you are earning.
Let me slide one quick story in there, right? So I was having trouble with my dishwasher, right? So I called my insurance company. I was like, my dishwasher, I don't know what's going on, blah blah blah. It's not working. I'm having issues. So they gave me a contact. They have subcontractors, vendors that they use. They sent a message to their vendor to come check it out, whether it's due for replacement and all of that. Hey, they now send this vendor. Do you know, for 1 hour, the guy comes, right? For his time of just checking the machine, figuring out what's happening, doing what he needs to do, $85. If he spends more than an hour, I have to pay him an additional $85.
That's
That's
consultation
easily
fee, first of all.
yes. So easily 100, and so let's say it's going to take him a while to fix it. So the reason why insurance is good is because when you have that insurance, instead of paying so much per hour, they have a deal with them. So they'll say, okay, you that they're coming to meet, if they look at it, the consultation, check out what's wrong, they go and get the material for you, they fix it, you pay them 85. The insurance company will cover whatever is left. This guy came into the house to fix this washing machine. He spent a total, and I'm just being generous, maybe like back, because he came, checked, he said, okay, he need to go and find the parts. He went, looked for the parts, checked for it, ordered it, had to book another appointment, came back, I think a day or two later, spent a total of maybe 3 or 4 hours doing the work on the machine. I paid him $85, but the insurance company will cover the rest of it. This man came professional with his toolbox, everything, with his everything. He was ready. He came in, he put his toolbox down, he set it down, he looked at it, took apart, he looked at what is going on with the everything, He don't do it, he need to do, he don't bounce. Professionalism. A plumber, now plumber I be. Go ahead, Mr. Jonathan.
That's it. That's in fact, yeah. See, if you have any plumbing issue in your house, yeah, think twice because you know that the bill they will slam on you. Plumber is not a. In fact, that I don't even want to. I hate it. Plumbing is a major thing here. Those are so you don't look at them as they are well respected. Plumbing, you know, a bricklayer, a painter, all those things that is what is called dignity. It is, you see, this thing, it is not magic. Government actually made it so. Government made it so through regulations. Through regulations, they make their jobs, all these jobs, respected. So it is just a matter of choice. Do you want to do it or you don't want to do it? The fact that you are doing it does not mean that you will be castigated or relegated into the bottom ladder of the society. No, that is dignity in labor. And until government brings that back, see this issue, the mindset of Nigeria is that everybody wants to become a millionaire. Everybody wants to ride big car. Everybody wants to live in a big society. But when you know that what you are doing is well respected, in fact, your charges and fees are regulated. That's how government helps them and supports them. So you don't just call a carpenter and look at him as if he's nobody, because what is going to charge you has been regulated by government. They have associations, and they all everything is all because government knows that these people are paying taxes. That is how government generates, not just to come and be grabbing from people, taxing people with no support, nothing, no policy in place. Do you know the massive? Nigeria is an informal sector economy, majorly an informal sector economy. If government take it seriously and support the informal sector, the issue of revenue generation will be a thing of the past. In fact, the taxes they will be collecting from the informal sector alone is enough to fix Nigeria. But government must come in first of all, help these people, standardize their profession, make their job worthwhile, give them, standardize their fees and charges that they will charge.
Certify it for them. Certifications, when you get certifications for whatever, like like in Nigeria, for instance, now they have a lot of hairdressers. They have a lot of people who do hair. You can go everywhere under the bridge, you are doing hair. All those people, if you have certifications, once more, at least it doesn't even have to be exactly how it is done here. Let's not forget that there are ways that you can encourage people to have dignity in what they are doing. When you create the environment for them to thrive, like for instance, now it's not some you cannot be a dull person and be fixing a car. You have to know what part goes where. You have to understand how the system in the car works. You know, especially with cars nowadays that use whether na computer, they say they check everything now. It requires you getting some type of education. I remember when Nigeria used to have technical schools. You don't have to go to, not be everybody like college. Let's just say it as it is. Not be everybody get time for all those things. You know, but Nigeria, every single thing that they look down on. They know they even feel consider say this person a human being. If they make see that actor that they were laughing at because the guy they sell okrika for market. I was so happy that guy came out and said, what is wrong with him selling okrika? He's not stealing. He's making an honest living. So because they see him on as an actor acting a movie, he should not find food to eat again. He should be carrying his shoulder up. So because he's known on the TV and they see him in Hollywood movies, so he should just sit down, fold his hands. There's dignity in labor. He told me, he said, get up and go and get a job, go and work. You know, whatever you find to, even if na akara you they say, there are people who have raised their children on akara and buns. Not selling akara and buns by the street. Go ahead, Mr. Jonathan.
That's a fact. I said that's a fact. There are people selling. I know it's not even when I say it's a fact. At least I know one. I know a friend of mine when we are growing up that the mom was selling this specific one, akara and all these things. There are three of them. All of them. It is that akara and plantain, akara, plantain, and all the and yam. That's what the woman does every night, every evening. These three boys, all of them, they all graduated. In fact, two of them with master's degree. It is from this akara that this woman is selling. Today, their mom is with them in US. That woman selling akara in the 80s back then, they have their mom with them in US today. It is that akara. She sent them, all of them, to university in Nigeria. So the problem we have in Nigeria, you see, that when you talk of that mindset thing is actually the issue of mainly dignity in labor. And when people know that whatever they do, they will be respected for it, you will see that people will be more genuine in what they do. The idea of trying to cheat, to cut corners, it's not that it will be completely eliminated, but it will not be widespread as we see it in Nigeria of today. You will see people, they want to live a true life because they know that whatever they do, they are well respected. It's not that a banker will come and he will come and look down on you. In fact, if that banker is not sure, by the time you bill him, by the time you give him his bill, he will look twice. He will look twice and he will respect you the more. But these days now is when you will just look at people as if they are nobody. So again, it boils down to that and the role that government has to play. If not that for our politicians, all they care about is just to get there, to go and steal, to go and ravage, to pad budgets, to pad the budget and all sorts of things, If not for that, embezzle, siphon, if not for the fact that that is their main objective, what they go there to do, to achieve, the country would have been a better place. But if they really focus on the economy, they work hard to bring out policies that will impact the lives of ordinary people, then it will be a completely different mindset that we see in Nigeria. And the government has a very big role. The country is largely an informal economy, whether we like it or not. All this investment that they are talking, that they are going to bring investment and everything they are going to bring, I just look at them, I laugh. That's the reason why I always say when they talk of Nigeria, when they talk of policies, economic policies, whether it is monetary policies or fiscal policies, they talk about it as if Nigeria is just, they're taking textbook approach to bring it to Nigeria. No, you got to be creative. You got to be creative and look at the Nigerian situation, the informal sector of the Nigeria, and apply those economic theories in the way and manner that it will fit and it will benefit Nigerians. If you just apply it strictly on the books, the way you read it when you are at school, they bring all these people on board. Most of them will say they have this, they have that, they've studied this, they've studied that, and then they start applying what they read in the book. No, it's not. Nigeria is a different climate completely. You must look at our terrain, look at the informal sector, focus more on the informal sector. Even if you bring today, if you bring in two mobile, Exxon Mobil to Nigeria, two of its size to Nigeria today to come and to invest in oil and gas, tell me, will they employ 100 million Nigerians and 100,000 Nigerians? They will not employ 100,000. I mean 100,000 with all the massive investment, maybe in the billions of dollars. They will not employ 100,000 Nigerians. We're talking of a population of over 200 million people. It is the informal sector, the small businesses. Those are the people that will drive the economy. If you support them, see, if you support the small businesses, the guy with his shops, the woman selling on the street and everything, see, there are so many ways. It's just about in fact, government can even come up and say, okay, if you are a small business owner in Nigeria, if you employ one person, this is what we will get from government. Employ one. It's just like buy one, get one for free. See, it's as simple as that. It's not rocket science. Employ one, get tax credit or get tax deference. Employ two, you get this. Employ three, you get this. Multiply that. That is how government comes up with this 10 million jobs generated, 5 million jobs generated, 20 million. That is how it is done. It is not the big corporations that will employ 1 million people. It is not the big corporation that will employ 2 million people. It is not, even in anywhere in the world, by any standard, it is the small businesses that create jobs. Those are the ones that create jobs. The man with his shop there, that woman that has a supermarket, that man that has a small outlet doing his own thing, encourage him to employ one or two persons. Encourage the bank to give them loans so that these people will have access to loans so that they can expand their businesses and employ one or two. You have more than 10 million of such in Nigeria. If each one of them employ one or two, you have you see, this thing is not. Then you now go after them. You can now start collecting taxes from them. That is the way to build the economy. That is the way to go about it. All eyes, all focus must be on the informal sector. That is how you drive it. Without that, all these ones they are talking, they are just joking. It must be a productive economy. Without that, it's just a textbook approach that they will continue to apply, and that will take us nowhere at all. So that's my that's my take on that in Nigeria, and that is how we can get that. And the only way we can do this, again, as I always say, after all said and done, when you see all this, the present structure that we have, the present system that we have, they have no capacity to implement any of this. They cannot do any of this. They have to be completely wiped out. We need a new structure, a new set of people that are creative, that have the mind to take the country to the next level. It is not this set of people that we have. They have no capacity to do it. Even if they want to do it, they have been so misaligned, decimated to the point where they cannot do it. Because see, evil cannot beget good. Evil cannot beget good. It is evil. Evil will always bring out evil. Their evil is so much that even if they have the intention to do good, that evil will always follow them. They can't. First of all, because if you want to do it, you have to get rid of the corruption. And because you are also part of the corruption, so you cannot, even if you want to do it, you cannot do it. Because for you to do it, first of all, you have to first of all sentence yourself. Because you cannot say you want to sentence someone when you and that person, you are co-partners in these corrupt practices. So even if you have the mindset to do it, I'm talking of this present government now, or this present set of politicians that we have, or leadership that they call themselves or whatever, even if they want to do it, they have been so misaligned that they have no capacity to do it. For their own good, they should just step aside. They should just even step aside and allow, the new brains to come in, genuine people to come in and take Nigeria to the heights, to that next level. That is just that's just my take, on this thus far. Thanks very much, my sister. Hello?
Hello, yeah, Mr. Jonathan. No, thank you very much. Oh. No, I mean, everything you have said makes absolute sense, to be honest with you, because as Nigerians, we really, really need to start educating ourselves, and the people around us. We still have, there's so much, it's like an uphill battle that we're, working towards. Yes, everything all equal, Peter Obi comes in and he starts to put the necessary structures in place. What about the mindset of the people? Because when people have been used to a particular way of doing things, everything na anyhow, no maintenance culture, nothing, everything just dey rough, anyhow. Like, to your point, house go fine for outside, you enter inside is junk. You open the door, handle dey fall out, wood, you close door, the door no dey even close well. There's space at the top, there's space at the bottom, there's space everywhere, and then the way people treat each other, there's no, you cannot say, okay, I want to quickly go and do something, let me drop my son here so that you can take care. You can't do that anymore. You
Nigeria.
understand? Exactly. You can't do that. So there's a lot that is going on that we really need to start working. As far as we're also fighting for Peter Obi, we need to ensure that we're educating the minds of the people. We need to be doing that. We have to be chewing gum and we have to be fighting for our mandate, and also educating the minds of the people and letting them know that there's dignity. Whatever you find to do, for crying out loud, it's not better anywhere, it's not easy anywhere. You have to hustle, you have to get to where you need to get to by working hard. All that easy money doing this, it doesn't pay anybody. Everybody is just into the life of crime, get rich quick, let's get this, let's do this. It is not feasible. How long do you want to continue like that? you know these are things that, so I sit down, I think, I say the mindset in Nigeria of people it has to change, not just in Nigeria, even here. You find a lot of people here, you go shock wey dem dey for here, na dem dey even dey push the upside down mindset pass. They will go home, cash out their credit card and go and be spending it, you'll be making people feel like they have all the money, meanwhile they don't have anything. They have to spend all that money, come back and come and do double shift. Sometimes they do a 12-hour shift just to make up for that. you know Most of them will go home, they will go to whatever, they will do taxi driver here, go to Nigeria and go and marry a medical doctor, or go and marry a nurse. That one now, oloju kokoro, oh, one doctor wants to marry me, one nurse wants to marry, they follow. It makes no sense. you know it makes no sense. We gotta do better. You wanted to say something, Mr. Jonathan, go ahead.
Yes, I wanted to add to what you are saying. That is talking about the mindset. The issue, looking at the dignity of labor. You talked about the maintenance culture. You see, in Nigeria, that is when I talk about this mindset thing must start from the top. It is government that you remember in the 80s. You remember in the 80s, I don't know if you can recall, during this military administration, I believe it was Idiagbon and Buhari, they came out with this program that time. They call it Dignity in Labor. I don't know, they started doing all this promo on TV, on radio, and everything like that. Dignity in labor, promoting it. And I think that time they're talking about war against indiscipline. When they started talking about war against indiscipline, they promoted it, that time and everything. But Nigerians are a set of people that are so hard. They need very hard and tough. They need a tough hand to change them sometimes, but it shouldn't be so, because it's so rotten now that this mindset of a thing goes to even the maintenance culture that we talked about. You see, that is why because when you look in the West here, I wonder sometimes when you will see a road, you see a particular road, the road is fine, everything is fine, and everything is the road, nothing, everything, and you just pass there one morning, and you will see that they start dismantling it. They are dismantling it, uprooting it, and then they will cause traffic and everything. And then sometimes you will just be so angry and say, "What is happening? Did nothing happen here?" And they will just tie it again and retie it again. And then after some few weeks, the whole place will just be like brand new again. I'll say, what is going on here? Not until when eventually I got a family friend who works at the city council on contract. He works at the city council now, kind of educating me that no, it's not like that. Oh. It's just because those things have been it's the plan. It's been on the plan, on the budget, that they must repair those things. They must, whether it is good or it is not good, it is there. They will have to do them when at the appropriate time set for it. And then I recall that we have this thing also in Nigeria. It's not that we don't have them. It's just that some people just sat on the money, siphon the money, literally steal the money. And then all those roads, you see all those roads until they become unmotorable. Year after year, they are eating the money. That's part of the mindset too. Is the mindset that we're talking about in Nigeria, where the culture of making things to be of standard, that culture has been completely eroded. They will just come out and say, okay, they are putting this XYZ, millions or billions of dollars on this project, and they will inaugurate the project. They will unveil the project and they will do everything. Everything will look beautiful. Go back there 2 years later or 3 years later, the thing has become substandard, because the money that is budgeted and allocated for regular maintenance is being stolen or siphoned, embezzled by some group of people year after year. So that is also part of the mindset. The other day I was watching a video on YouTube of somebody showing the Lagos airport has been renovated, and I said, okay, that's fine. I've seen it before. It's soap opera. I've seen so many times that the Lagos airport renovated, and then I will get there a year later or a year and a half later, I will just see that the whole thing is messed up again. It's just the maintenance culture that we have. So it's a kind of it's a big problem. But when you have to break it into pieces. But the head of it all, is the government. They have a big role to play to educate the people first of all, genuinely now, to really genuinely educate the people. They have, when Bill Clinton came to Nigeria at the twilight of his administration. He came to Nigeria in 1999. Bill Clinton was in Nigeria in 1999. Obasanjo just came in. He came to Nigeria and he sat down and he was making a speech. And Bill Clinton made a statement. He said the laws that we have in Nigeria, that even some of those laws that US does not even have them, progressive laws that they have in Nigeria. So there are so many laws in Nigeria. They have all these things in Nigeria. All these laws, they are all there. It's just because some people have made it to be like a culture, the culture of stealing. I mean, just call it what it is. Stealing, outright stealing of state resources. That's why these things are not working. to the point where the rule of law, the rule of law is not something tangible. When you talk of project, it is tangible, things that you can see, the roads that you can see, the schools, the hospitals, all those things are tangible things, and they are stealing the money. They are stealing the money of this thing. They are even stealing rule of law, which is an intangible thing, through bribery and corruption. They are even stealing it, which is the last hope of the common man. They ended up even stealing the rule of law. They are stealing it from people. And when that is done, we don't have a society again. We don't have a society again when the rule of law is being stolen. Because that's what it is. When they miscarry judgment and just all the way, that's just outright stealing. So it's a big problem. But the government must be true. We need a government that will be true, that will really come out and educate the people. Even the money they will allocate to kind of inform the people, get people informed, get people to begin to change their mindset. Some people stand ready to steal that money. They will not do it effectively the way they're supposed to do it. They want to steal that money to make that money dry. But if government is really genuine and they come out and they educate people, and they are really genuine about it now, the mindset, people, and they will have to start by showing people that it's a new system now, it's a new culture now, change the mindset of people. That people will know the idea. That's why you see in Nigeria now, a 16-year-old. I see so many things in the last 1 year that makes me to be, what you said earlier, that we will now even be seeing a 1-year-old now. We don't know what a 1-year-old now is going to be, will be corrupt. Because when you see a 12-year-old now trying to do all these money rituals that they do and all the rest of it, that thing just baffles me. I say, what are we talking about now? That culture has been so, the morals has been completely eroded in Nigeria, as it were right now. We just don't have it at all. We don't have it at all. So it's a serious one. So the mindset.
Your audio, Mr. Jonathan. Your audio went out. In case you can hear me, can you guys hear me? Please let me know if you can hear me. I hope say no be my own. I didn't go out. Can you guys hear me? Can you hear me? Can I get a yes, please? If you can hear me, oh. Okay. All right. Thank you very much, Heart Desire. I was wondering because I can't hear Mr. Jonathan anymore. I think his audio, it's true. Welcome, Maintain Man. Welcome. Thank you very much. I appreciate, So at the end, see, the truth be say, all of us, when we did this life, all of us get family, we get friends, we get neighbors. The work down the ground now. Wetin you they do, wetin me they do, na be the cocoa. We have to start talking to people, educating them. We can only do so much, but at least where reach, tell person, since you know better, tell another person, teach another person. Each one teach one. This is the only way. Peter Obi no fit do everything finish. If he can't put the structure for ground and the people when supposed to follow through with the structure, when they supposed to do wetin they supposed to do, they not do am nko. Una go talk say Peter Obi not doing work. You understand? So it's one thing to have the right structures. It's also another thing for the people to be educated about it and also do their own parts. Everybody has a duty. Everybody has a job to do. Everybody has a job to do. You understand? So for me, I just feel like, I sit down, I thought about everything that's going on in Nigeria, and I said to myself, man, as much as we want our mandate to be returned, the mindset of the people have to change. There needs to be respect and love for people. You understand? Now, love, the fact that somebody is being cordial with you, or is being nice or whatever with you, does not mean they're going to entertain their disrespect. I won't. Personally, I will not take any disrespect from anybody. I don't care who you are, right? So if I respect you and I'm showing you love, and you now decide that, okay, oh, it's now me, you want to use that one, you want to use me to flex muscle because I've given you an opportunity, right? I'm not going to take it. You know what I mean? But we need to start on learning some of the toxic things. We really need to. It's so bad in Nigeria. It has eaten deep. It stinks. It stinks. Even children self, they stink. There's nobody to, you can't trust people in Nigeria. You can't. It's scary. Mr. Jonathan, can you hear us now?
I can hear you now. I lost my audio for a while.
The audio is even much better now. You can go and you can talk, my brother. You are making a lot of sense. Eh?
That's the situation where I lost you for about a minute or so.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. We couldn't hear each other. Yeah.
Yeah.
I was just saying that we can, as much as we're fighting for our mandate, we can also ensure that we're educating people on the ground, educating those around us. You understand?
Yeah.
All this whole attitude of, people and I blame some of our diasporans who go back home, you're flexing. When you know how hard you work for your money, you understand? You
Yeah.
go and then you want to be what you're not.
That's
You
true.
will withdraw all the money in your credit card and go and be spraying at home. Meanwhile, you have to come back and work your butt off to pay off that credit card. You will now go home instead of you to go and, okay, you say you want to go and look for a spouse, which I don't personally believe that you need to travel home to go and find a spouse. You can find anybody you want to be with anywhere, but that's just me. That's my opinion, right? You now go home, you not cut your coat according to your size. You will not go and look for a highly educated person that if all things were equal in the country, you wouldn't even have the opportunity to talk to them. You won't even be in the same circles with them. You now go, oh, na nurse, you go carry the nurse come. You can't impose them on her. As it they happen with woman, so they happen with man. So I'm not here to do any jam. This is all things that we need to start working on. Not go do pass yourself. Then you now bring the woman, then you can't say the woman don't open eye. It don't take everything from your hand. But guess what? Now you cause the trouble for yourself.
In
Cause
fact,
you went to meet a woman who's hungry, who's already suffering. And I'm not saying everybody in Nigeria is hungry. Please don't get me wrong. I beg. You go back home, the things in Nigeria, things are difficult. You think a woman who is struggling, who is trying to make ends meet, is going to really genuinely say, yeah, I'm in love with this man, I want to marry you, or I'm in love with this woman, yes, I want to marry her. It does not work like that. You're right, they are using you as a way of escape. When they come and they see the slightest opportunity, they're going to walk out on you. It's just that simple.
it's that one. It's not just only. It doesn't apply to men alone. Even the women also.
That's what I'm
See,
saying. It's both
the
ways.
the worst part of it is that most women in Nigeria, I don't even want to generalize. They are not marryable. I don't know whether that word exists. Marryable. I don't know. They are not. Even if you live here, you leave the West and then you go to Nigeria, that you want to go and marry, your chances of getting a woman there is, with what we all know that is going on in Nigeria now. In fact, you have to change yourself. You are shooting yourself literally in the foot. Your chances is next to zero. So I don't really support the idea of leaving the West to say you are going there. You want to go and look for go and look for a woman. I give it. I have this experience. A very close family friend. Yeah, and they have a daughter. The daughter is, of course, she has reached the marriageable age. and then they are worried and concerned. And then in the process, they try to arrange a guy from Nigeria and all the rest of it. And they at least they got a guy from Nigeria. They did this, so everything went well and everything, did the marriage, and not knowing that this guy have his own plan. The moment the guy landed, they did the wedding, they did everything, and the guy came. See, the day the guy got it, the guy was just waiting for his permanent residence to be issued. The day the guy got his permanent residence, it was less than 6-7 months after that marriage. The guy just said, he just stepped out of the house, said he's leaving. That lady, first of all, collapsed. She thought she was dreaming. Literally, she collapsed. He collapsed. They have to, this guy packed everything and he said he's leaving. To cut the long story short, he left. He left this lady. And that is Nigeria for you. He literally left this lady. This lady, in fact, when she says she has come over it because it happens about 5 years ago now. She has kind of, put herself together and move on. This guy left. There's nothing she can do about it. That's Nigeria for you. It's scam all over the place. So it's a very serious thing, and it boils down to the culture. It boils down to character.
Exactly.
The character of people. People just don't have character at all. So it's a serious thing. The question is, how do you determine the character of a person? Because by just looking at someone or even listening to someone for a few moments or a few hours, you can't really determine the character of the person. It takes time. It actually takes a process. For you to
let me quickly interject right there, Mr. Jonathan. Here's the thing. I don't have a problem. People can meet anywhere. Let's just put that out there. You can meet anywhere. I'm looking at the generality of it now. And Kene, yes, you're right. We can't be bashing our women. Thank you very much for pointing that out. And that's not what we're trying to do. The point is that the society is so rotten. So if you as a man is going to Nigeria to go and marry under the guise of I'm going home to marry because there's already an error in that thought process alone, that okay, there are no see better women for the obodo wherever I did, so I have to transport myself home because I beg home women. Now I won't go meet like this. I go fit. If your mindset is I'm going home because I'm going to look for somebody that I can control, that I can talk to, that will listen to me. So you see all those things when you look for, all selfish. You now go home, you go and bring a woman. Oh, the same thing. A woman says, okay, usually, to be honest, if women decide they won't go home, go marry. I don't know at any woman they think like that, but okay, let's assume that it happens. Okay, you go home. First of all, there's no guarantee. You don't know where the man mind is. First of all, you don't. So you bring this person, you don't even know them. You don't know anything about them. That thought process alone is faulty. I'm sorry?
That's correct. That thought process is faulty.
Exactly. It's faulty. Why don't you say, okay, this is where I am. I'm opening my mind. If I'm going to, if I meet somebody here and, we get along and things happen, be with the person. You don't have to go because you're actually telling on yourself when you say, oh, I want to, because you hear cases of, okay, you go home, you go and bring this person, you have no idea who they are. It was fraudulent. What you did was fraudulent. Then you now go and bring the person says, you know what, I can't be with you, blah, blah, blah. You get upset. You start saying, after all, I brought the person from Nigeria. After all, I did all these things for this person. After all, I made them who they are. After all, I did all of this, I did all of that. Listen, at the end of the day, The truth is that nobody is doing anybody any favors. You understand? If you were, let's say you traveled to Nigeria innocently, you just went to Nigeria, you just happened to meet someone, you got along, and from there your conversation led to another conversation, and you seem to be, it's a different thing, but not when you have the intention. I remember there was somebody I met a long time ago. The person said, oh, that they're going to Nigeria by December, they're going to get married. I'm like, really? Just like that? And really, person went home, they arranged a woman for him, he went to Nigeria, got married, brought the woman here. Before you know it, they happen. Marriage not reach you not reach 2 years. Oh, the woman don't carry her karanga, she don't waka. Then this man starts going around town crying, oh, how the woman did this, how the woman did that. Most of these things happen with men. So that's why I'm saying men. So please, it's not a gender war. Now the rot in the society, now need to focus on. We just talk reach this side. So I'm not gonna not run with any narrative here. What is the motive behind what you're looking for or what you're asking for? What's the motive behind it? What is your motive? Because that's where it stems from. And when you're pairing each other up, you're not considering the children you're bringing into your mix. You not bring the children in and you traumatize them and you create a circle, and it keeps going on and on.
Yeah, part of it actually, to be, to be fair, part of it is cultural.
I get it.
Yeah, part of it is is a cultural issue, that the mindset, especially for men, that if I want to marry, I want to marry someone from where I came from originally. Part of it also could be pressure even from the other side also. So
Yeah,
it's more or less
exactly.
a culture. It's more or less a cultural thing. But the whole idea behind it is that that process itself is faulty,
Exactly.
which is a fact.
Exactly.
It's faulty.
You
So
understand? I'm all
yeah,
for culture. I'm all for us, yeah, I get it. It's cultural. But can we be honest about it? Even if it's cultural, can we both be honest? You understand what I'm saying? It's like now, okay, I have a friend who, a couple friends, they're friends, right? They were relocating to the States. And prior to relocating, I get a call from her. She's like, okay, we're planning to relocate, blah, blah, blah. I need your advice. What do you think? And I said, first of all, do you really love your husband? Because America will test your relationship, man, where you least expect. Because I've seen it happen around me. It will test. I had to ask her some salient questions. I said, because you're going to be surprised. I said, first of all, does he cook sometimes? He said, oh my, why they talk like this? As it be for Nigeria. It's okay. It might be a problem because when you come here, your husband is going to expect the same treatment when he comes here. So you have to start talking about these things, because there will come a time where maybe you have a job, you can't tend, you can't cook, you are tired, you're exhausted. Will he be able to, is he willing to learn? Does he understand that, okay, my wife is tired, let me step up and do some things, because it will happen. I played out the scenarios for her and I said, make your decision. If you guys are going to come, know that America will test the foundation of your marriage. If you did not marry correctly for whatever reason, maybe you got married because you were bored, or you wanted to run away from your father's house, or you were lonely, when you come here, America will play it out for you, all the cards. You will have no choice but to decide what you want to do. You know, People
you'll
don't
be
think
tested.
about this thing. Yeah, you'll be tested because you're in a new environment. Nigeria, you have help. You can get domestic staff. When you go there kitchen, not be you really they cook. You just say boil water for pot for me. The water don't hot, or yeah, you can't get, you don't cut the pepper finish. You don't cut. Okay, you just, all you need to do is just get up and pour everything inside, mix and go and sit down. Then you tell the domestic staff, turn them once, cover them. You don't be okay, you get up, test, or you tell am say tester. You have driver, You have a, sometimes you can even get a cook if you are to. There are so many things that you can do. You have family that will come to your house and do that. When you're outside, you don't get all of that. People don't put all those things into consideration. So it all goes boils down to, what are you looking for? What exactly is it? What are your intentions? How do you treat each other? How do you relate? Even when you decide that, okay, you want to go your separate ways, does it have to be enmity? Does it have to be war? It does not have to be war. It is the lack of love and mutual respect and understanding that is causing all of this. If we
Correct.
knew how to treat, I'm sorry?
I say mostly that's correct. Even here, aside from those ones that you mentioned, there's still so many other situations, real practical situations that must be considered also. Especially when even children are involved in the West.
Exactly.
That's
Exactly.
another ball game
That's
entirely.
another ball game entirely. You understand? Like, we have to learn to treat each other like human beings. That's the bane of all these conversations I'm having. And there has to be a change of mindset. Because everybody is doing it doesn't mean you too you have to soil your hands in the field. You don't have to. You can choose to stand on a higher ground and say, no, I don't want to soil myself with this mess. I choose to be kind. Not be as Nigeria bad reach, not be person still find money somewhere, return her to the owner. As Nigeria bad, where we say, oh, the corruption has eaten so deep. Somebody recently found money somewhere that wasn't theirs, and they returned it, and it wasn't small money. And it's not as if the person that returned it is a wealthy person. He not gets, but he see the money, he recognize it not being own. He carry and give am back to the owner. That's what I'm talking about. But other people, somebody else, maybe now somebody else see that money, go take am, you know, go return am, he go say, my own done better. The loss now to the other person. Or you enter taxi for Nigeria, maybe you forget your purse or you forget your phone or something. You won't see it
That,
again. They go don't
yeah,
sell am.
that one is over.
You understand? Welcome victory all the way. You understand? So these are mindsets that need to change. If it's not your own, why do you want to keep it? You don't even know the source of this thing you want to keep. Why do you want to keep something that does not belong to you? Return it. If you see that somebody is being treated unfairly, do you keep quiet or do you speak up for the person? It doesn't have to be your brother. It does not have to come from your tribe. You understand? Wetin bad, wetin good. Are you standing on that? Because your religion is not whether you go to church or whatever. It is what you do when nobody's looking. It is the love you have inside of you that you're giving to other people. It is you standing up for the truth and saying, no, I'm not going to stand while this evil continues. Because I tell you for free, if all of us fold our hands, say, okay, Nigeria problem is too much, it's overwhelming, I beg, it's okay, it have do. Let everybody enter the house. Guess what? 100 years to come, the problem go do even worse pass as it be right
But
now.
when you talk of Nigeria, we are Nigerians. Nigeria is made up of people, and we are the people. People like you and
Exactly.
I. They are the one that are in Nigeria that call themselves that are Nigerians. So if we want any change, it is we ourselves that must bring out that change in
Exactly.
Nigeria. And it boils down to every facet, every aspect of our lives in that country. From family, and that's why family is so important. Family is the basis. It's where when somebody just doesn't emerge as a leader one day, it doesn't just
Mm-mm.
drop from heaven. It comes
Mm-mm.
from a family structure somewhere,
Exactly.
whether it's a normal family or dysfunctional family. It comes from a family,
Exactly.
and that's
You
where the
understand?
problem starts from. So the family
Yes.
has a very, very important role to play here. So at the end of the day, what we have in Nigeria now, even though we know that is a major problem, and we have to solve the problem regardless. but we also must not forget going back to the family structure also, to the set, that
Absolutely.
basic root, and start,
As
because
absolutely.
see what
But
we're
before
talking
we
now.
can go
What we're
ahead, go
talking
ahead.
now, it was discussed. Some people mentioned it 10 years ago, 20 years ago, and I will always ask myself if they have actually started this change or changes 20 years ago, it will not be where we are now. So it is not too
Mm-mm.
late to start. The change has to start. There must be a starting point. It is not too late.
Mm-mm.
We must start now so that by 2030 we will not be where we are now.
Mm-mm.
But if we don't
Exactly.
change our mindset, starting from now, in 2030, it will be worse up.
Exactly.
So
Do you
that change
understand?
must start now. That's a
Exactly.
major thing. Yeah.
And again, it all, but you see, fixing ourselves and telling ourselves the truth and unlearning certain habits that have become common amongst us, right? It needs to start because these habits that are being formed is what is eroding the marriages. Do you know that? That's what's eroding marriages. It is part of the fraud because a man meets a woman, you are not telling each other the truth. What is the basis of the relationship if you can't tell each other the truth? Back in the day, during our forefathers, when they want to marry, they go and check the history of the girl. They go find out, they'll go do investigation on both sides. Now, okay, there's no investigation again. You have to ask questions. People are
This is
not
the
willing
age
to
of
tell each other the truth.
this digital age.
You understand what I'm
People
saying?
even marry online.
People marry online, but you're not willing to tell each other the truth. You go marry man or you marry a woman, you find out say the woman don't get pikin before, like you don't born like 10 years ago. You never knew. You are just discovering. What kind of marriage is that? It is part of the erosion of the corruption and the decadence. That's what is now and is now that's what is affecting the institution of marriage. So if we don't fix our mindset, marriage will not, it will, all these things we're seeing, will continue to see it. Because people are not being honest with themselves. People are not telling themselves the truth. You understand? And then also you have to be able to unlearn certain things and be willing to be better than who you were before, who you were yesterday. And you also have to understand that the other person is striving to be better. If both of you are trying to be better, and in the process of getting better, you are kind to one another, your marriage will have some longevity. But nowadays, people know they get patience for each other. If mosquito fly pass like this now, if breeze by mistake blow when e no supposed to blow, problem don come. That's not how to live. That's not life. You can't even resolve small issue. You can't resolve it.
That's
You
a that's
know,
that's a that's a big problem, and that's the
that's
issue
a
that we
big
have.
problem. That's the
That's
issue
the
we
issue that we
have.
have. And as I said, that what
Eh?
comes out of it, the most important thing that comes is the children that comes out of that relationship. They imbibe all these things
Of course.
and they start living by it. That's why you
Exactly.
see that's why you see a 16-year old does in Nigeria today. It will amaze you.
Ah, you are
16
telling
year
me.
old young girl, 16-year-old young boy, what they do in Nigeria of today, it will amaze you. In fact, you can't even, most of these things, if you say it on social media, in fact, they will just tag it.
Please don't say it, oh. I mean, some of us don't even say it. I'm saying that's why I'm saying the decadence of the society has eroded every facet of the country, every aspect of it. You see men now giving their wives out because they want to eat,
How
selling
bad?
their
That's how
children
bad.
because they want to eat. Tell me, has it not already affected? It has already eroded it. That's why you're having this problem. So most times people are saying, "Oh, we want to sort the issue of marriage. Why are marriages like this, or why are relationships breaking up? Whatever it is, whatever aisle you're on, You are not dealing with the root of the problem. The root of the problem is not the fact that they have disagreement. The root of the problem is at the core of it, there was no love in the first place. It was all conditional. It was all transactional. The parties involved did not tell themselves the truth. People manipulate to be with each other. They will manipulate each other. This one go manipulate, the woman go manipulate. There was a time when women used to manipulate. They will say if they get belle for the man must marry them. Right? Am I wrong? A lot of women
That
were doing
happens.
it.
Yeah.
They go manipulate, they go get belle for the man. Some go say they get belle, but when you enter finish, you can't discover say na false belle na they get. They just want me you marry them. The man will come get resentment for the woman. You manipulate the man, you say okay, you because you want to marry the man, you marry the man, enter house finish, now not get respect for you, you dey vex. Why you dey vex? You manipulated. Your intentions and your motives were not clean, they were not pure. The same way, the man will come, manipulate, go say, this woman, I go fit control her. If I just tell her like this, he go just do as you enter inside, the woman can't get voice. You can't say, the woman, you don't turn to another thing for your house. You can't resent her. You can't do things when you're not supposed to do. That's what I'm talking about. At the root of it, there's no love. The intentions are whack. The motive is wrong. You see a woman because she's beautiful, oh God, gorgeous. I want to, everything is all about the physical. You marry her, you didn't tell yourself the truth. You married her because of her beauty. You did not marry her because of her essence. Gone are the days when people used to say, no, there's something about this woman. There's an energy I get from her that is good for me. You don't look for that. You're looking for someone who has done BBL, top and bottom. That's what you're looking for. Right? Because you're looking for the aesthetics. You put her in the house. You've lied to yourself. Then maybe the woman starts to act out. Then you start to say the woman is acting out. But you made the choice. Back in the day, our forefathers used to marry essence. They go say, don't go consult. They go say that woman, if you marry her, you go get peace of mind. Now woman when carry peace, they go tell her. Because of that, it no matter how the woman look. It no matter. People did not marry for the physical then. People married for the energy the person was bringing. You understand? That's what people were marrying for. You now marry the woman, you have peace. To everybody, they're like, how can this man marry this woman? You don't know what two of them are giving each other. It's more than the physical. It's more than what you see. You don't know the peace
I
that the
agree
woman
with you. I've
is
seen
giving the man.
instances where, you know, a man will marry a woman and people will come and say, how did you do it? That you are too, it's not possible that you marry this woman. But the man knows what, he saw in that woman.
He saw in that woman, exactly. Gone are the
Yeah.
days. Exactly. Kenya, you say our fathers, yes, now it was the essence. Because when they tell you, let's say the man knows what he's looking for, it's okay, I'm looking for a woman that will give me peace of mind. Because they say, even the Bible, for the Christians in the house, they say, he who finds a wife finds a good thing and obtains favor from God. It's a fact. There are women that you will marry. I'm a woman. There are women you marry, your life will change forever.
For good or for bad?
For good or for bad, depending on what your attraction is. If you're not careful, if you don't do your necessary research and prayerfully, I don't care what religion you belong to, take prayer however way you want, right? Approach it and look for the energy. Look within, not outside. Forget about this outside. Outside is just a fizzy. It's okay if it comes with the outside packaging, fantastic. You don't hit jackpot. But a lot of times there are women who carry wealth with them. When they become a part of your life, you will never lack. Doors will be swinging open for you. It's a fact. There are some women that come into a man's life and they will destroy everything along that path of that man. So the question is, what were you
even unintentionally on the part of the woman?
Yes, Oh, that's what I'm saying, because that's the energy they carry. But the man was not searching out for the right things. The man was searching out for something else. Nowadays, people are marrying for the biggest behind and the biggest front. That's what a lot of people are marrying for. Even so, there was one recently that I saw on social media where the man married the woman. After marriage, tell her somebody go do BBL because he no get rich. The woman do and finish. The woman come back because the woman born girl, born boyfriend. He lay hands on the woman until the woman on her life. This story not to take. It's only recent here. Do you understand? And again, people know they pay attention to people are more interested in the ceremony of marriage, in the party. Hey, Ashoibi, rapper, all the chief bridesmaid, all the this thing, all the that one, all all of them, they're more excited about that. But they forget that marriage is much more than all that fizzy. You don't even need all that noise. In fact, if you're a wise person, when you join with somebody, nobody's supposed to know. Now you and your family business, to be honest. Because the world does not like good things. The world doesn't like it when you're happy. So when you put it out there, and there are a lot of people that you have invited by yourself. So you can't blame them when they're poking holes into everything that you're doing, because you put it out there. So you see, people have lost their value, their sense of value, So when some men meet real women, they don't even know how to behave anymore, because they've been so used to being with women that are, whatever it is they want and, all that. So when they meet a real woman with the right essence, they can't even recognize it. They can't. So you see how
You are on
terrible.
point. You are on point. You are on point, my sister. You are on point. You're on point. I agree with you. On this is the point I just want to emphasize on is that the society has a big role to play if there's going to be any hope, and that change has to
Exactly.
come from the family, and then yeah,
Yes.
yeah, the
Yes.
society have a very big role to play here. The family has a very big role to play here. You know, and
Yeah.
not just in some places, in some people when people married. When they bring their family or the man bring the wife from Nigeria, then bring the wife to America or to Europe or somewhere, when the woman gets there, the exposure, is going to, the woman will get exposed to other people. And in many cases, she learns so many things and they learn so fast.
Exactly.
And before you know it, because she's being taught so many things. And if the woman is not cultured or has the wisdom, like a woman of essence, I like that word that you use, a woman of essence. That word, is loaded. It talks about that word also entails wisdom. If it is a woman that has no essence, with no wisdom, and you bring that woman from back home and to the West here, is a sometimes is a very dangerous thing. It can be a mix. It's like sometimes shooting yourself in the foot, literally.
Of course, it can make or mar you
You
forever.
can make or mar you. That's just it. You can make or mar you because once the woman gets here and she gets that exposure and everything, and you'll be surprised the way she will just change overnight.
Even the
And then
man,
you,
not just the woman, it's both
woman,
ways.
but I agree. I know it's both way. And then she
You
just
know?
want to be. And then the man wants to play the man thing that I'm in charge and I can do this. And then the woman will now be telling you that no. And then you will now be thinking, this is not the woman that I brought from Africa and this and that. And
Exactly.
before you know it, all hell will break loose.
Oh, hell will
The
break
cent, the
loose.
cent, the center will not hold again.
Exactly.
And then everybody will go their ways. So
Exactly.
it's a serious subject matter.
It is. This is why the foundation, we need to start working from the ground up. It can't just be waiting. Oh, Peter will be structure. If the mindset is still corroded, we are on a long term. If people are not making intentional, they're not being intentional with their choices and understanding that the core of everything is the love. When I say love, is respect for one another. We don't have to, we don't, we, you and I don't have to agree on everything in order to move something that's going to be for the benefit of everybody forward. We don't have to completely agree. We can say, okay, we have a goal, we need to fix the society. Based on that, let's focus on the things we need to do. We can disagree, but as far as that goal is in front of us, let's achieve that goal. You know,
That
if we
that
are
that
why if I'm sorry, go ahead. If we're a lot more patient with each other, and start to build from the ground up and start to have the necessary conversations, I think we'll get somewhere. you know Ekene, you say you like Nyasho. Does the essence come? Now if na that one you define though. I don't know what I want to tell you, Ekene. Eh? If that's the the cocoa of everything for you, to each their own. Abi, everybody know wetin they look for this life. you know. So I mean, not this work when we get it plenty, not be for one person. I sit down and think the matter, say no, we need to start talking about the mindset of the people. The mindset is so important. We have to start working on ourselves. We need to start doing better by each other. That doesn't mean we're not going to offend each other, but when we offend each other, can we forgive each other and move forward for the greater good? You understand what I'm saying? Can we stand on the side of the path of righteousness and say, okay, oh, this thing is right, this thing is wrong. We cannot say because, oh, he's my brother, he's my sister, he shouldn't be punished because he's my no. He'll be
You know why
punished
we
because
have that? You know why that? You know the reason why that is a tough one in Nigeria, and it boils down to a complete overhaul of the system. Is this parochial mindset where people thinks about anything that is good, it has to go to me or to my people.
ah
They don't look at it
so
from the perspective of the benefit to the generality, what will benefit the general society. The first impression they get, the first thing that comes to their mind, their mindset is that, oh, this thing must be for me, first of all. Or how will you describe it when a minister or a president will come in and all he will do, a minister, for example, he will ensure that certain area of the country does not get developed for some parochial, for some selfish reasons. It is all about them. That's a major problem where people that are saddled with the responsibility of developing the country, structuring the country, all they think about is, first of all, themselves, my people, how this thing is going to benefit me. They don't think about that's a serious one that has to change. It starts from the beginning. Even ordinary appointment alone is all about my people.
exactly.
It's not about character. These days, Peter Obi has completely, in fact, he brought it to light to me. I don't, for me personally, I dislike in the Nigerian context talking about qualification. I prefer to talk about character.
Exactly. And that's why I don't like titles.
Their
If
title,
people ask
because
me, what do you do? What do
they,
you do? What profession? I never respond.
they
Because
have
you see what
rubbished
that
that.
does? They've rubbished a long time ago. It didn't just start now. A long time ago. You see the I'm doctor, I'm professor, MSc, DPS, MMP, PPS, PP. I disliked it. Growing up, I could not stand. They always seem to be a chip on their shoulders. Once they just come like say, yo, here say they go small school, we know hear word again. MSc, PPS, PPD, PP, and they want to be addressed. Because of that, I dislike it. Till tomorrow, you ask me what I'm doing, I will never tell you what I'm doing, because it does not tell you the character of the person. But the character, the important thing that you should be looking out in a person is their character, who the core of who they are, not what they do. Because there's some, if you're going after the titles, you will miss valuable things. You will miss gems, literally, in people, just because they have title. Most of these people who have
But
title, I'm sorry to say, they have proven to be the most vile, the most educated illiterates I've ever met. So why I want to sing the same song like a canary? God forbid. I'm me first. I'm a human being. Who are you? Who you be at the core? Do you have hate or do you have love? Which one you be? Which category? What's your energy? What's your energy? Because your energy tells on you. When you step into a room, it is your energy that people will sense first. It's your essence that people will sense before you. When you open your mouth, before you open your mouth, someone who's perceptive will already figure you out. They will just keep quiet. They look you, maybe they run your mouth, they go.
this topic,
The things that we ought to value, we don't value. We just they do them anyhow. Now it make us the way we did. So sorry, my brother, I had to interject there. Go ahead. So before I come to
this
Mr.
topic
Ibe.
that I just want to say as you are talking, I come to the realization that this subject, this topic that you brought up today, is a very, very fundamental topic. And as simple as that, without complication, mindset. It's a very, very, important topic and something that should be emphasized. We should not be tired of it at all.
Mm-mm.
It must be emphasized over and over and over and over again. In fact, it has no time limit.
At all. It really doesn't.
This is a very fundamental topic that it must be given the priority that it deserves. Because if we don't change that, we are going nowhere, because that is the root.
Exactly.
That's the root of our problem. The
Exactly.
mindset of our
Exactly.
people, of all of us in
Yes.
Nigeria, every
Yeah.
one of us, myself
Everyone.
inclusive, because
Yeah.
we all have that area where our mind. Because if you go to an average Nigeria now, listen to an average Nigeria for, if you have patience enough, say 30 minutes. Before you talk for 30 minutes, you have a 30-minute conversation. You will see a sense of tribal, you will trace tribalism there.
Facts.
Somehow you will sense it. For some,
Yeah.
it is more
Pronounced
intense, more
than
pronounced.
others.
Yeah. So some
Yeah.
it is more pronounced than others, but they have it.
Yeah.
And they carry it to leadership position if they have the opportunity. And it all plays out in every of their decision, everything that they do. And even if
Yes.
it is not so pronounced, by the time they find themselves in that position, that thing will begin to play out little by little, little by little. And over time, it will become a cancer in them.
Exactly.
That every decision that they take, everything, before you know it, they will even start saying it and they will be defending it.
Absolutely.
They will start, when you see a Nigerian defending the indefensible, then you know that it's a problem of mindset.
Right. Thank
That's
you
the
very
issue.
much.
That's the issue that
Yeah.
we have. Yeah.
Yeah, let me quickly come to Mr. Jonathan. Thank you for being on the panel with me today. Honestly, I really appreciate it, because these conversations we're having, hopefully everybody is listening and everybody is learning one or two things. Because we need to, like you said, to your point, we have to keep having this conversation, honestly. Because this mindset thing, no matter the fantastic politicians we have, if the mindset of the people don't start to change, it will make work difficult for those who want to do the work. So we need to be chewing gum and working at the same time. Kene, You say wedding different from absolutely, absolutely. People spend tons of money, preparation, actually cloth, food, this one. After 2 years, the thing don't crash land. Okay, what was the use? Were you married because you really want to be married, or it was an escape, or you were lonely, or everybody else they marry, you must marry? Pressure, which one? We know those reasons exist in Nigeria, in the Nigerian space, even among Nigerians abroad. I've seen it. Put themselves under unnecessary pressure. Hey, I beg go. Hey, Mr. Eben, my brother, welcome. Oh, good to have you here again. Happy New Year.
Good evening. Can you
Good
hear me?
evening. I can hear you. We can hear you clearly. Good to
Uh,
have you. Welcome.
yeah, thank you, thank you. Good evening to everyone in the comment section and everyone in the panel as well.
Thank
Um,
you.
I've been listening and there's been a lot of interesting comments that have been made so far and things that I've personally learned as well. I remember I can't remember, is it Mr. Jonathan? He said something
Yes.
about what was prevalent in the 80s. How
Yes.
I can't remember the politician he mentioned, but that was interesting. The fact that he mentioned that there was something back then that helped at least make the society understand the dignity of labor. Yeah, I believe that was very, very profound. I don't think we have anything like that in today or in our days, and so I thought it was necessary for me to just mention that again. But I just want to say a few things based on the last statement you made about how if people asked you, right, about what you're doing, you just don't mention that. I'm 100% with you on that because obviously we live in times where people can only define themselves by what they do or what they have. And this is a conversation I have with my peers, I have with young people. I tend to ask them if what you're doing were to be taken out of the picture and everything you have, whether it's a house, your possession, your car, whatever, if you were to take all of that out of the picture, how would you define yourself or your life? And
Mm.
many times when I ask people those questions, I get the silence. People don't tend to respond. And these are some of the things that we must begin to retrain our minds on because if all we can define about ourselves is what we have or what we do, then what really is the essence of life? What really is it? If those things are taken away from you, what would be left of your life? What would you do with yourself? And the truth of the issue is, even many of the people that young people look up to, that they consider stars, it comes down to these two things: what they have or what they do. If you take that out, how do you define a person? And this brings us to the subject of character, brings
Mm.
us to the old subject of morals. And these are the things that really matter in the end. I mean, there is no way we can talk about a society that is going to be what we want it to be without addressing the subject of morals. Again, we are positive that things will change, that Peter Obi will come in, that the country will begin to take a positive direction. But it's still going to be a tragedy if, in the end, all we can achieve is that we develop and people have jobs now and people can eat and all of those things happen. And yet our morals are still not where it should be or is still on the decline. I
Mhm.
don't believe that's the kind of society we're looking for. And if you look at the US today, that's where they are at. So it's a country that is flourishing so much, but then there is a lot of moral decadence as well. And as that conversation went on, one of the things that I thought about was even media. Now, we could say, yeah, the society isn't working, government isn't doing what they should be doing. But how about what media is also doing to influence the behavior of those young people? Is there a body that is regulating the kind of music that is being put out there, the music videos that these young people are seeing? We must start from there. As much as the families must do what they have to do teach their kids and instruct them the right way to go, the society at large must also be able to censor rather the kind of videos and the kind of movies that are put out there. Because it's going to be contradictory if families are training kids in one way, and then when these children go into the society, this is all they're saying. It's going to be counterproductive. So I believe, yes, media is also one aspect that must be addressed. I mean, I remember growing up, the kind of movies that I saw. I don't know if you guys remember Patience Ozoko and the likes of them,
Mhm.
Pet Edoche. The kind of
Mhm.
movies that we saw there, whenever they portrayed marriage, it was almost something like, okay, the man didn't have so much, but he was working hard, and the wife
Mhm.
stayed. And in the end, things became better. Those are the kind of movies that were pushed out there. And I can personally say that those movies had an imprint in my mind, even till today. But
Mhm.
what kind of movies do we see today, or even what kind of music videos do we see? We see people, in fact, it's even alarming in a society where people don't have jobs and people are struggling to eat. And these people are seeing music videos where these artists are spraying money and they're spraying cash. How can you prevent them from doing whatever ritual money or whatever yahoo yahoo? You can't stop it.
Exactly. Mm-mm.
Because what they are saying in the media is encouraging them to get fast money, get quick money, do whatever they can do to make money. So
Mhm.
that is also one aspect that must be addressed. It must be addressed. Else, I don't think things are going to change. One last thing I just want to say is, again, this is me casting my mind back to how I grew up. There was
Mhm.
something my dad and my mom always emphasized. They would tell you to live a quiet life. And what they meant by that was no matter what you have, no matter how much you are making progress, live in quietness. Don't live your life such that you want people to know you have this or that you're making this progress or that you're buying. No. Until today, as much
Exactly.
as there is social media, it's still so hard for me to post a picture where I can't do it. Not even from a religious point alone, but because of the way I was trained. And I'm not
Mhm.
saying this to say my training was perfect. No, I'm just trying to bring out this specific part. And we have to
Mhm.
go back to this. We have to go back to this. We live in a society now where any small progress people make or whatever they achieve, they want to post it out there. We live in times where people want to define themselves by what they have and what they do, and all of that wouldn't help us as a society. So I just thought I would say all of this just to contribute to what has been said so far. Hopefully, God can help us as much as we are looking for a society that works. That as we are pushing that, we also will be pushing for a society that holds morals in very high esteem. But that's all I have to say. Thank you.
Absolutely. No, thank you. Very well said, Mr. Eben. Honestly, you just nailed it. I really you came in and you absolutely, you know what? On that media aspect, if the training does not start in the home, the media is only very little the media can do. Guess what happens? If the training starts from home, parents can now put pressure and say, media, we don't want our children watching this, so you can't be showing this type of things. Parents will now start pushing against what the media propagates. The media will have no choice but to check itself. But where the home is in disarray, who wants to come out? And is it media they want to be worried about now? If person never chop belle full, if they look for how you want to make money, now media I want to talk about. Most of them will gladly plunk their children on the chair, put on television, let them be watching so that they will leave them alone, so they won't be disturbed. So it still boils down to the home. If the home front is okay, I guarantee you. And of course, I mean, we can talk about, romanticize about, before growing up, how it was and all of that. And, the days of Okonkwo and the rest of them. There's certain things that need to change even in that scenario, because in that scenario, women didn't really have much of a voice. They did not have a role to play. The women were, it was silence. Okay, you can't talk like someone like me now that has an opinion. That's very opinionated, that likes to communicate and talk. People like us now, they go don't tag us name that time. They go don't give us names. Say, this one now, they don't toss us for one side of the society. So yeah, even though yes, I am all for having healthy homes and families, but I'm also all for each individual within the home realizing their true potential. It's not all about money. There's so many things that you can bring about that really doesn't even start from money. Things, the skills that you have, not be money take the start. You go down, they do them already for free. People go down, they see and say, this person good for this thing when they do, without you collecting a dime, because that's your role. You're playing a role, and then it cannot trickle down to the society because not be people born journalists. Now human beings, now they grow up in a home with a father and a mother. And to your point about living a quiet life, exactly. I get it now. People, social media, everybody has their own way of doing things and all of that. To your point, I'm the same way. It's very difficult for me to put things out there. It's very difficult. I mean, I'll put my gym because I go to the gym. So I love to dance. Dance is like life for me. I'm I'm very happy when I'm dancing. So for me, dancing is like giving out joy. So I like to dance. I'll put out a dance video every now and again, but you can never know what I'm really up to. You don't know this girl go to, somewhere, go here. So I'm not, it's just not because that's how I came up to live your life with contentment and quietly. I can't. It's just not natural to me. Even the stuff that I do sometimes, it's because I have, developed, I have worked on myself. I've been able to say, okay, if I have something good to put out there, why not? I'm going to put it out there. But I'm very, very careful about what I put out. I'm not going to be, on the street and it's not just me. If I do that, it will be fake. I can't be who I'm not, right? And this is not a diss on those who are doing it. In case people are looking at this and are saying, oh, she's trying to. No, I'm not. I'm just speaking for myself. There are things I'm not comfortable with doing. It's just the way I was raised. I was raised with contentment. Whatever I have, if it's Gary, let me tell you, there are days I'm so lazy, I don't want to go to the store. Guess what? If I get Gary for us, because man, I grew up on the farm. Hey, Gary girl here. Now we fry Gary. So once I get Gary for house and I get granite, it's on. I get walnut, I get pecan nuts for us. If na Nigerian groundnut I get, I sort of carry the thing, soak my garri with ice water, no salt, no sugar, ice. Drink the garri, omo, I'm okay. I'm telling you, that's the kind of person I am. But hey, if you say that, people will say, "Are you sure this girl is not making?" But it's if I'm, this is just me. So I'm not going to put myself out there just because, oh, it's just not my nature. I can't do it. But will I say people have to be the same way? No, people don't have to be the same way. I'm just saying, let's build a society to have some balance of morals and decency, because the trajectory that we are going, you see, Africa is not even all this what's it called, imported attitudes, imported ways of doing things that we have currently that's going on in Nigeria. Is not natural to us. It's not. So that's why it looks so bad when we do it. It looks horrible because it's not a part of who we are. So if we don't start to have the conversations now, while we are working, on getting our mandate, we're also talking to each other. We're also having real conversations with each other, whether it be religion, whether it be social life, whatever. We have to be re-educating ourselves and telling each other the truth. Those at home, now like this, it be as I did here, so she bang. I never get work for like 1 year. I did flip burger for McDonald's to survive. We have to be able to say those things, because that's the only way we can move forward as a society. You want to teach your children morals, but when I dey grow up, Iben don comot. Even when I was growing up, I was watching shows like wetin dey call am, Joke Silver, that show when they dey classroom, wetin dey call the name of that show again? Village Headmaster, that show with where Madam Kofo, Joke Silver, they used to sit in the class and all of that.
It's a soap opera.
It's a soap opera. I can't remember the name of the soap opera.
Yeah, soap opera every Sunday, 8 p.m. Yeah, I know.
Oh, okay. I'm not seeing you, Eben. Did you leave the? Did you leave? You have to come back. Oh, I'm not seeing you. Just me and Jonathan that is here. So anyway, we used to watch those soap operas. Village Headmaster, Coco at Dawn. What's the other one again? Oh, what's the other show again? The one with Zebudaya. What's it called? What's that show with Zebudaya called?
Green Glory.
Yeah, I forget the name of that. Second Chance. Thank you very much, Larry. Second Chance, Bassi and Company. Thank you very much. If you guys remember those old shows, and then Tales Under the Moonlight, right? The way they used to see children under the tree. Hey, now dear mango tree idea come. Oh. Sit under the tree. We're going to tell people story of the fox and the tortoise and the fox or whatever, right? New Masquerade. Oh, God go bless you. Kene BB, God's grace, exactly. Mirror in the sun. Oh,
yeah, that's correct. Thanks very much for that. Mirror in the sun.
Thank you. Mirror in the sun. Checkmate. Thank you. All those shows that had some values, you go take something away from them. You go learn something. And that time, by 8 o'clock, children's show is over. Children's show is over. That means it's time for you to go to bed. I think 7:30 or 8. I can't remember now. You go enter inside. You go sleep. You don't learn something. And then I remember that time too. I think it was on the radio station or so. They used to quote sayings, parables of our elders. They'll say the words of our elders are words of. I will never forget. There was this particular man's voice that used to say it. You say the word. He would say the parable. He would say the meaning, I think, and then he would now say the words of our elders are words of wisdom. I tell you, those were shows that shaped my life. Some of those parables, I still remember them till today. You understand? When we used to get together, we used to eat as my parents, then we used to eat together. If not ground, all of us will sit down, we'll carry a big bowl of a bar with black soup. They eat them. Everybody go, they look for who go first collect the meat. Oh my God. Hey! There was so much love then. People were content. You go see a person, you go marry, you go grow with your husband, whatever you have. And I'm not saying that, I'm not saying this to say you can't marry a wealthy. You can marry a wealthy person. The whole idea is contentment. Because you can be married to a wealthy person and not be content. Yeah, it's true. Contentment. And then even people that were wealthy, there was a sense of humility about them then. Because I knew quite a number of rich people. They were humble. You won't even know that they had half what they had. You will not know. They moved around quietly, did their thing quietly. All this show. And please, again, no, I beg, go, please, me, I'm just talking a conversation with the get. I'm not coming after anyone. No, I'm not. I know get person. I know they do me. I know they those kind. I know they play like that. We're just having a conversation here. To each their
My
own.
sister, you see, let me tell you, see, what we have now, the problem we have now is like the case of, in Yoruba language, there's this saying, they will say, Pashiparo. Like when somebody take original from you and he handed over fake, is what the West. You see, the West, that's our culture that we think it has no value, or those things that we experience, back then. That the West are gradually they are stealing it, and they are giving us this fake one. When my brother was talking about the media, what the media portray, and all the rest of it. and
Yes.
what the children are seeing on TV, or whatever, whether print or broadcast, it is they are projecting the West. It is the West that they are projecting. That's what they are projecting to us all. And where the children are now growing up to see the West as a superior alternative. And that's a danger there. So that's the media. They have a big role to play. Yeah. And I think, because, come to think of it, in Nigeria, when we talk of this mindset thing, somebody will just pop up one day, and then he will just be brandishing money and wealth all over the place, and the media will not question it. How did you come about this money? What did you do? What was your or, your profession, either in the past or now? What is it? How did you come about this sudden wealth? We used to know you. They cannot track people. And it's not like it's a stone age. Just to track people even 5, 6 years back, not even a decade, 5, 6 years back, they can't do it, because somebody becomes a governor and he served for 8 years. And after 8 years, we are seeing him with massive wealth. And the media cannot go back and question it and say, how come? That is the problem. That is the mindset. And the people will flow with it. Because what? What the people want to get from it. It is all about what the people want to get from it. So the people just flow with it. A very negative mindset. The people are part of the problem, perpetrating this problem to allow it to fester and allow it to continue. So it is all about, what do I have? I think the last speaker, my brother, I think he mentioned that. What, how much do I have? What do I have? Instead of what have I done, or what am I doing that will impact, or that is impacting the society positively. It is not that. It is all about, just amass it. Or how else will you describe? How else will you describe a governor after serving for 8 years, and then he has, like his house is like or his parking lot is like a car dealership, and it's all about just, you know how much can I gather? It's all about self. How much can I gather? That's the mindset. That's it. And the people don't question it.
Absolutely. Let me read this comment, Mr. Jonathan. This is so funny. God's grace, say 7 p.m. NTA News. Hey, God grace, remember. 7:30, Willy. Oh my God. Willy. 8 p.m. EBS News. 8:30 News in different. Hey, I remember different languages that time that they talk their news. 9 p.m. Network News. Didn't do. Wasn't that the sound? That was the soundtrack for the local news that time. NTA News. When I remember the soundtrack.
That's correct.
And it was such an ugly soundtrack. I remember that time. It was so ugly, but at least it was a signal that okay,
Yes.
adults things have started, kids getting to your room. But before I go there, my brothers and sisters, I salute, so I greet everybody in the house and everybody in the comment section. This is such a beautiful topic. Uh so nice, because really, when you fine tune the mindset of people in any society or in any given structure, then it is easy to call out what is wrong, say what is right, work out things, and work with people. And right now, I don't want to sound negative, but it's a very long journey to get to that mindset in Nigeria, because right now the only thing the Nigerian person we talks about is money. I was on a space earlier today, and I think sometime the one of today was different, but sometime last week I was on a space where somebody they threw out a challenge and said that they want to do something for obedience. And well, for people that were obedient and they wanted to do, some people come together. In fact, a particular person came up and said, you know what, I'm not going to give money, but I'm willing to train people that want to stand on their own 2 feet. In fact, he didn't say he's not going to give money. He just says that he wants serious-minded obedience that are willing to help themselves. And this is the forum that he has. And so they threw out the opportunity for people and said, come and join, give me your names. We will hook you up with this person. And the people that put these things together came back and told us that only 2 people came out and said they were willing to learn something and make something of themselves. Only 2 people. All the other people that were coming to the forum were asking, can't we get money? Can you not just give us the money? Give us the money, let us do what we want to do. Give us the money, give us the money. But here it was, somebody is willing to teach you a skill or a trade that will further you and will take you to places. But what they preferred was the money. So, for that kind of mindset, how do you turn it around? This is not a situation of there's nobody to teach you, you're not going to get anything, or you have to put down something before you can learn something. This is a situation of I have the means to teach you. I'm willing to teach you for free. All you need to do is to show up. But only 2 people. Only 2 people. And this was made known for as long as possible. So that mindset, it's not, in fact, at this point, I'm not even dealing with the adults. I'm not even dealing with the people in power. I'm dealing from the cradle, from the baby. It is that same mindset that Mesoma decided, you know what? If whatever is going to happen, I'm going to do this because other people have done this and gotten a headway. So why can't I? It is that mindset that this human has decided, you know what? I don't care about what 200 plus Nigerians are saying. It is my turn to be president, and I'm going to be there. And it is that mindset that MC Oluomo stood up and said, hey, this is my town. You want to do things my way, or stay away from me, or stay away from this place. It is that mindset that they woke up in the morning and decided, you know, these people have been progressing too much. Let us burn down their shops. And it is that mindset people are carrying every day around. A good example, a very wonderful example, was when this man said he was going to increase fuel price. The fuel that was sold 2 hours before he made that announcement has not dried up yet. They haven't filled the tank yet. Yet, within a space of minutes that he made that announcement, the price jumped up. So, how is it that the gas is still there? The price you bought it at has not changed yet. Because of the profit you want to make, you are willing to throw away consciousness and be mean to the next man coming. Because really, there wasn't any difference. If it was a situation of, okay, we have sold all that was in that old price, now we are buying it in the new price, so we have to increase the price, it's a different thing. But these people could not care. And they went ahead and they sold that price. So tell me, that filling station, does that man have any good mindset towards his next door neighbor that actually might be his in-law or might be his family member. Because when you're going to go and buy the petrol in the gas in the petrol station, you're not going to tell the attendant, the owner of this place is my younger brother. Oh yeah, give me the price that was there before. It doesn't happen. You will what you are selling, you will sell to everybody. So look at the mindset that person had. That same mindset, the person driving the bus decided, you know what? Because this is happening to me, from point A to point B is not going to be 50 naira anymore. It's going to be 350 naira. And if you don't like it, walk. It is that mindset the man in the market said, I'm not selling this meat 10 naira per pound anymore. From today going, it's going to be 950 naira. So when we are thinking of cleaning the mindset, where do we start from? Our children, they're watching us. The teenagers, they want an easy life. The mothers and fathers, they're tired. They're so tired. They're tired of making noise. They're tired of trying to survive. They're tired of talking. They're tired of fighting. Everybody is just tired. I mean, another situation was, what is his name? Agbado. You got into power and then you have 120 cars to come and escort you. Agreed. Maybe not, or not all of those people were people that were for, that were yours. You could have had other state governors and other people, but at least you could have called the shot and say, you know what? I don't want more than 5 cars to follow me. I don't want 5 cars to follow me. So it's such a shame that Nigeria is the way it is. I had an opportunity to listen to David Hudain today in a space he was hosting, and what he was talking about was aviation. Look, as it is right now, I can tell you for free, we do not have any good airline in Nigeria. Sorry to say, I hate to break that news, but that's the truth. He posted some things on his, timeline, and I saw one where the aviation fuel was leaking from a tank. Daylights, koro koro. For the fuel to be leaking, there must have been warning signs, but it was ignored. But the mindset of I need to make enough money, you will pack as many that can enter that plane as possible, and off we go. And God forbid anything happens on the road, nobody will be held accountable, let alone being liable. That is the mindset we have. So the mindset of the Nigerians is dog eats dog. I can do more than you. I just need the opportunity. And that opportunity does not have to be street. I can do anything to get what I want. And nobody can stop me. Neither can anybody hold me with accountable. In fact, I don't need to be accountable to you. That's the mindset that Nigerians have now. And it is so sad because all of a sudden you see that it is black. Everybody can see it is black. But one person comes out and says it is white, drags it enough, and everybody starts agreeing that it is white. That's the mindset Nigerians have. So, where do we start cleaning it from? Who do we go to start with first? Is it the police that earns about 50,000 naira per month and had to feed his family? And those people know how to procreate like no man business. Is it the person that is going to walk through, high level of water to get to his house? Because when the city was being planned, they did not think of a good drainage system. Is it the person that is going to jump on the bus and does not understand why he has to pay XYZ money, but because he needs to get home, he will pay it no matter what? And is it the person that has to go to the market and goes with 500 naira but comes home with only 2 items and is wondering who he offended in his life for things to be that way. Which mindset do we start changing? Which one do we go to first? And in all of this, no matter how much you preach, no matter how much you sound out the warning that this man in power is not doing anybody good, I'm sorry to say, his own tribe will not call him out for it. Why? It is our turn. We need to be in charge. We have to be the one. We are in the ruling power now. It is our turn. We should start with that mindset first and say, look, regardless of what language you speak together, what he's doing is wrong. Tell him to step down. If a lot of the Yorubas had done that, and the elder statesmen that are Yorubas had done that, and not support this man, it is easy to stand alone for a while, but it gets tiring and boring when you have no support. If he did not have any support, after a while, he will get down and he will say, you know what? It's not fun being up here by alone. Because really, at the end of the day, person may get money. If you don't see who to chop that money with, that money no the sweet chop. And so this life be. People buy cars because they want to show off. Women buy and tie their gele because they know that the next Sunday they will go to church and show it off. People buy gele and buy gold and say, I need to wear this somewhere so that I can flex it. A woman will wear lovely heels. She has to attend the party so that people can see those heels. So all the money where they amass, if you not see person to chop and with, you know, they sweet. And if they had done that to Tinubu, that, look, everybody is talking, everybody is saying something, everybody is doing, people don't support you. We don't want to be part of it. Please calm down. It will make him think. But everybody is floating and pushing him on and edging him on and not even telling him what he's doing wrong. So the man has more power to do. Which mindset does he have? As far as is concerned, his mindset is, it is my turn. I get to chop as I like. See now, I've not seen the list, but the same ministerial list have come out. Tell me, which of them then will be thief? That is the mindset. The mindset that they had of amassing money and using it at their will's end is now opportunity for me to collect more. My question, I keep asking, because where is the money? Because the last time I heard, Buhari ti kó gbogbo owó tó wà ní Nigeria tán. He has removed all the money. Money no dey again. Abeg, where dem dey see the money? Where dem dey see the money? Everybody wan grab. So those mindsets, those people, it has to start with them. The mindset of not bribing, the mindset of not cheating, the mindset of remembering that the next person to me is human and has red blood flowing in their veins like I do, so I should give them chance. The mindset that, you know what, it's okay to make a mistake, but what you're doing right now is outrightly wrong, and I will call you out for it. Nigerians don't have that mindset. I no go lie, me self as I sit down here so I don't get that kind of mindset because I'm going to look out for my own. The inherent imperfection within my body no go let me see root. But our own at home is too much. I was sharing with someone today, I said, countries like Venezuela, Brazil, Colombia, all those countries that are so impoverished, it didn't go down one day. Their corrupt leaders were edging them on bit by bit by bit. And today they are where they are. And nobody doesn't even want to look at them. So that mindset is a wonderful topic. I totally agree with what everybody said. I totally agree. But Nigerians, which one we want to take start from? And tell
Okay.
me, I say make a
Thank you very much. I appreciate Sister Bibi. Thank you so much for coming in and sharing those nuggets with us. We appreciate. Yes, indeed. You have echoed, you have listed all the laundry lists of problems that we have. All of us, when we did this live and the comment section, and the ones when they listen in, everybody self will get something to add on top of everything when you just talk. But the truth be say, you asked a question where we want to start. It starts from you. You just talk and now everybody get wetin they struggle with. It starts from you addressing your own concerns. With the area where you feel say, okay, I lack for this area. If you say na me, I for true do one like this, but for the greater good. So you go start to the unlearn and too. They tell yourself, say no, for the greater good, more do one like this. Yes, there's a place for my family, there's a place for my, my mother, my sister, I agree. But for the greater community, for the greater good, it starts from, because change always starts from you, from the person, the mirror, before it trickles down to every other person. All these people when you mention now say all the issues when they get for Nigeria and all of that, the fact we say people rather want the money than to actually take the steps to learn the work to do am. But the question when you know ask for inside be say how many of them get credit to buy data? How many of them get the money, even if they want to do it? Because I know there'll be a number of people, they feel not plenty, but at least there'll be a number of people, more than the two people that say, okay, yes, we're willing to do it. When we won't do it, but where the money to buy data? Which work they get? You understand? We feel talk about the long list of Nigeria, which they happen. Why? But the truth be say, in order for anything to change, all of us need to agree, say we must move the society forward, and in doing that, we must start to educate. It be like when Peter Obi entered this thing now, the scene. Was it not 10 months ago? Maybe now I don't reach 1 year now. I know when I know verse. I know na night school I go. Maybe like 9 months. Now the man take join politics. Within 9 months, everybody can say it's not possible, it's not doable. You understand? It's not doable. It cannot. Abemona forget and I play. It's just playing. You know if you do anything, I play day. Waiting. Who be that? It's irrelevant. It's just playing. It's just play. Like play, like play. The man garner every vote. What people talk say no fit happen. The man do am within 9 months. He was able to speak to people in such a way that they understood that this man wants to fight for them, and everybody rallied around him. People voted in their numbers for this one man. How did he do it? It's the same way, by talking, by sharing the vision. He come out, he come obodo. Everywhere where Nigeria dey, everywhere where say Nigerians they live, he visit all the areas where Nigerians dey to go talk to them. Tell them say, my people, I want run. No, this is wetin I want to do. This is my plan. From one obodo land to another obodo land. He was able. And guess what? It wasn't just Peter Obi that was doing it. There were people on the ground that were talking to people that vote Peter the Rock Obi because he go do this, he go do this. They were going to villages that I personally did not even know existed. There were people traveling to villages to go and sensitize people. Those people were able to buy into what he wanted to do for the society, and they all voted for him. The same way when that one take happen, now the mindset of Nigerians go take change. But it starts with you and I by having these conversations. Because if all of us start to count the problem and we have this defeatist mindset, say, with all everything we see for grants, so we not sure say go fit happen. Then that means say for the next 1,000 years now, the looting continues. In fact, the future is slavery all over again. That's what we're telling ourselves. Now we go determine how we want make the society be. Everybody go become teacher. Everybody. You get people for the same way when you take the campaign that time when you will call your people for house, tell them say, my people, una don't vote for the election, who una vote for? Oya mona take money, mona go take run. The same way now you go take the talk to people, desensitize them. That is the job of you and I. There's no easy way out. There's no shortcut. You see those people when they not agree come out, so when they not agree come learn trade. When you get opportunity to talk to them, you go tell them say come. This is the long-term goal. This is the short-term goal. If you take this one after when you reach here, you go, you know will figure anything again. That's it. Is that what you want? Or is it not better for you to have something in hand that even if that short term, that money when you get, you not get them in lump, but at least you go they get them every day. As long as you they get person when they pay you, they learn trade. You go explain am to in a way when you go understand. It go take up a lot of ignorance. They happen for Nigeria. People they do certain things because they don't know better. We forget that too. Nigeria is a place where a lot of people act out of ignorance. Some people they do things because they don't know. I they watch is it Nas Boy? I think he's a comedian in Nigeria, Nas Boy, Nasiru or something like that. The guy did a comedy skit. He used one Oyibo man as angel. Okay. I can't leave comment for him for a YouTube channel. I can't tell and say, guy, I like your comedy, but you see this thing where you did do, you know, it not speak well of you. The mindset when they don't create for you, say Oyibo people now qualify to be angel, now you take the wrong things for you. It's not supposed to be. I left him a comment on his YouTube channel. Whether he took it, I don't know. Whether he read it, I don't know. But I did my part. A lot of people do things out of ignorance. Did he do it intentionally? No, he doesn't know. It's part of not knowing himself. A lot of Nigerians, a lot of Africans, if I dare say, don't know who they are. We don't. We're just now finding out. A lot of us don't know. You're still operating from a colonial place. It's just a fact. Let's start telling each other the truth. You're still operating from there. If you know who you are, you will know. If you speak language, another person, if you get people when they speak certain language, you get waiting they go want make you, they won't hear from you before they make any move. Until they hear from you, they no go move. The same way, everybody get voice for person. Everybody gets person when they get direct impact on. When they tied to each other, now you they wait for. So we not fit talk say, oh, the problem in Nigeria, the way things be, it's almost insurmountable, and they start to sound defeatist. Will carry us go anywhere. If to say Peter Obi, he talk down one, we know they where we did. So we need to also change our language and the way we see ourselves and the way we talk about ourselves and talk about our problems. There is no problem that we cannot surmount. It is only if we tell ourselves, say, oh, no, we no fit surmount am. Now we no go surmount am. So we
Thank you.
have to do. Go ahead, Mr. Jonathan.
Yeah, I just want to. Yeah, you made a comment. Actually, I wanted to comment on the last speaker before you, Sister BB. I wanted to make a comment, but you mentioned something about the campaign about Peter Obi. So I think I should quickly, make a quick contribution on that before I comment on the last speaker's submission. See, Peter Obi's campaign happens to be a classic one as far as Nigerian political landscape is concerned. It has never happened in Nigeria before. The way and manner at which he ran his campaign. In fact, it was at the beginning, it was one of the things that brought me into the Obi, the Obi agenda. The way he ran the campaign, he visited, major countries in the world where Nigerians are, where he knows. He went there one-on-one and he laid out his plan, he laid out his agenda to Nigerians outside, because he know the impact and the strength that they carry. Before he now came back home and started his campaign, it was a very, it was a shift in Nigerian politics. Contrasts that with the other candidate who is now the selected president. Just contrast that. I think the answer is clear to all. It's very clear, And then what the last speaker said before, Sister Omoye, what the last speaker said, about mindset is a long shot, but it has to start. I believe that it has to start from somewhere. It has to start from somewhere, mindset. And I also think that it's a two-way thing, it's two-sided thing. The people, the people, or every Nigerian, and also the leader. The example she gave about somebody that volunteered to offer training, and almost all of them, or maybe just one or two, agreed to it. The rest, they wanted the money. That's a big issue there. The mindset, the people's mindset. The problem is that for an average Nigeria, one thing, their mind, if I want to read their mind, each and every one of them there, they will be thinking, if I even acquire this training, what will I do with it anyways? Even in the short and immediate term, what will I do with it? So their mindset is just, you know what? Let me just grab what I can grab now and move on. That's the reason why it's a two-sided thing. Everybody has a role to play. When you talk of the government, we're talking about the government. It starts from the councillor to the local government chairman, to the state legislators, the governors, the federal legislators, all the federal agencies, the security agencies. They are all inclusive. The mindset has to change completely. It's a two-way thing. It's two-sided thing. Because if you do one, if we the people, Nigerian people, we change our mindset, and those that are calling the shot, that are running the country, refuse or do not change their own mindset, the product of it, the outcome of it, what will come out of it will still not be positive. That's just the way I say it. And so as the people, we all come out with a determination to change our mindset, the government itself must change its own mindset. The people that constitute the government from top to bottom, they must also change their own mindset. Otherwise, it will amount to nothing. But thank God, we have one positive. We have one positive that is playing out now. And I want to emphasize that the presence of the emergence of Peter Obi, has actually, changed the mindset of Nigerians to some extent. If you are an obedient and you believe in the emergence of Peter Obi, to a large extent, it takes a change mindset to follow Peter Obi, to believe Peter Obi, to a very large extent. So the fact in the plans that he has laid out, that you follow that and you believe that alone, it takes a change mindset in the first place to even believe that, to accept that, to follow that. And those that refuse to follow that, those are a lot of work has to be done on those people. So there are two sets of people in Nigeria right now. If you follow Obi and you are following and you believe that is what we need in Nigeria right now, it simply means that you have an open mind. You are ready to change. You are ready to change. For such people, the job will be much easier. If you gather obedience together right now, gather a group of 100, people that believe in the Obi emergence, and you put them together now, your job is half done. You will do less to get them to that mindset thing. You will do less than a group of people that do not believe in that. It will be a tough nut to crack. So that's what I see there. That's where we are in Nigeria right now. But the fact still remains that we need to change our mindset. It's a very serious thing in that country, and everyone is involved. Everyone is involved. Both the lead, both the the people, every Nigeria and their leaders. Every one of us, we have to do this. Otherwise, we're going nowhere. So even if the people change their mindset, as I said earlier, and the people that are leading refuse to change their own mindset, because you still have a politician that is still going there with the mindset of to gather as much as he can. You have a politician that after he finish his term in office, he gave himself a mouth-watering pension of 4 or 5 SUVs, renewable, and not to be renewed, every 3 or 4 years, with medical treatment overseas, with running to $100 million, and collecting pension as a former governor, and then you are still serving in the National Assembly at the same time. Those are mindset. They have to change. Their own mindset have to change. They must set the example. Nigerians are not difficult people to change, actually. They are not that difficult set of people to change their mindset if the leadership actually and truly lead.
Exactly. Yeah, that's so true. That's a very great point, Mr. Jonathan. Nigerians are not they just need someone that they can look to, that will lead them in the right direction. It will be, and with everybody doing their own parts, you're right. Continue. I'm sorry. I just wanted to.
Just what I was just rounding up that it is the leadership. They have a very big role to play here, and people, it is very clear, because you know what, for on their own part it will be very clear and visible. We will all see it clearly. For us Nigerians, it's an individual thing. If you are changing you are changing your mindset, you are trying to change. You can be in your one corner, in one village, in one part of Nigeria. It may not be really visible for one to see, and everyone is doing their own. It's like, everybody doing their own, and then it comes together, and then we begin to see the impact. But for the government, for the leadership, their own will be instantaneous. It will be so visible. People will start seeing it immediately, that wow, this is a different Nigeria. So I have to change too.
Exactly.
So that is where it has to start from. It's a two-sided thing. The leaders have a big role to play. The Nigerians have a big role to play also. The family has a role to play also. And that's my submission. That's what I want to say at this point. Thanks
Thank
very
you.
much.
Thank you so much, Mr. Jonathan. I really appreciate that. Yeah, that was really well said. Thank you. Mr. Eben, your final thoughts. Mr. Eben, we can't hear you. You're on mute. Will I say Mr. Eben, don't go sleep? Okay. All right. Well, guys, we've come to the end of the show. Now do well, oh. Una don hear everything now, so everybody get work to do oh. So nothing say Peter Obi. Yeah, we know as we dey wrestle, as we dey fight for the mandate. Now so we go dey hustle to help people think better and make better choices. I'm telling you, once people start to dey make better choices and the government dey do im part, una go see everybody go everything go just dey wash hand together nicely. All this struggle, when we dey struggle all these years, everything go come become thing of the past. We go come sit down, we come dey talk about history. We say, do you remember? Now, do you remember? Now we go come dey talk that time. Do you remember? Now we dey talk. how we overcame, how we fought, how we sensitized, how we did this. That's what we're gonna be saying. So let's do our own part. Everybody get part to play. Everybody know which part you need to play. You understand? I know. I given a homework, Kenny. I given a homework. I no give you which homework I give you. Make we start to dey teach our people. Yes, na that na if na that one na better homework na. When we start to dey sensitize, dey help people dey think correctly, dey change their mindset, get opportunity, challenge their mindset, challenge am. By the time you start to dey challenge their mindset, everybody dey do the same thing wherever they are. Eventually, people go change. And Mr. Jonathan, you said it all. Once me know say once like Nigerians are the easiest people to lead. I mean, look at it. History will even tell you, even with the military and every very easy. If we have the right leader, and I make them take advantage of us like this because we easy and we dey quick forgive. That's the problem. If Peter Obi enter like this, now you'll see everybody go straighten up. They go straighten up. Everybody go they behave themselves. If the person where they top not they chop and if they hold people accountable, which one can be your own? You understand? So exactly. Yes, now to work on yourself. You say now work. Hey, okay now. Can I no work on you? Now work, nothing easy. Okay, that's another part of the problem too. Nigerians sometimes we they like the easy way out. And Kenny, I'm not that's not a reflection on you. I just because you use that word, you know we dey always so there's no shortcuts. We have to do the work, we have to do the heavy lifting. We will thank ourselves later. We fit not thank ourselves now. We will look to this and say, yeah, fight. I'm glad that I was part of this fight and we fought and we fought and we didn't give up. You will tap yourself on the chest too. You understand? So now, so Tato, my darling, thank you so much, guys. Thank you, everyone. This is where I draw the curtain. It's been a very interesting and insightful conversation. Eben, can you hear us now?
Yeah, 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 yeah. I was
Oh,
actually,
okay.
I could hear everything. My phone was just on business away. But yeah,
Oh, okay. I say maybe you don't fall asleep because we are
well,
used to
I'm still awake.
it.
Still awake.
Okay. Give us your final thoughts on this.
Okay, yeah, I don't have much to say. I think everyone has contributed so profoundly, and I was also able to learn a lot. I guess just to wrap up from my end, I would say all of this thing comes down to loving. Because if we really love ourselves as a people, then you would watch out for the death of the next person, your neighbor. You would be concerned for that welfare. And in the end, unless we come to a place where we begin to renew our minds this way, I think we might not make much progress. And so love still has to be free. We have to definitely encourage ourselves, encourage our neighbors as well. And when you see someone that is in need, at least within your capacity, try to help, even if you cannot provide what they need. Maybe there is someone you know that can help them out. Love, 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 love still has to remain the message. That's all I have to say. I was going to piggyback on the conversation yesterday, though, about the
Okay, go ahead. Mhm.
about the pastor that made that comment. I'm yet to see the video, but just going off of much of the things that I heard on, I believe it was yesterday's broadcast. Ah, a very deep sigh. So again, those of us that are involved in this whole religious church, whatever thing, I think I'm still going to stand on my previous assertion. Let's reevaluate what we have believed so far. Let's reevaluate it. And as much as we go with our spiritual minds to the church, let's also go with our logical minds as well. Because both don't, they are not averse to each other. They actually must complement each other. Whatever you believe, whatever you're being taught, whether you're Christian or Muslim, it needs to also align with your logic. It needs to. And I believe that's where we have a disparity. We believe so much in spirituality and we just leave our brains at home. That comment, I don't know where to place it, but it's so irrational. It's so unreasonable. It's not even. I, I can't even find the right word, but it's just nonsense. That's the easiest way I can explain it. It's just nonsense. So again, my point is, whatever you believe, please also make sure you align it with your rational mind. And in the end, let's do what is best for us, because this world is bigger than any individual. It's bigger than any one of us. But thank you, Miss Omoye. That's all I have to say. Hope everyone has a great night. Bye.
Thank you so much, Mr. Eben. Really appreciate your contributions there. Thank you very much. And I have to say, I have to actually appreciate you for being very honest and truthful, about, your position on, the take on the religious aspect of things and all. Because sometimes when some of us raise it, people think that we are maybe we don't believe in God. We are alien, you understand, but not understanding that the reason why we call these people out is so that they can do better, because lives are literally at stake. They're literally and we watch it. We actually watch people being unalived on a regular basis based on the lies or manipulations of some of these people. You quote a part of the scripture and you don't give the full quote just to justify what you want the people to run with. How can you justify something that was stolen? It was an outright wrong, and you look for scriptures to justify it. I mean, make that make sense. So when you call out some of these people for their for the way that they look at things and the way they pass their judgments, or talk to the people or preach to the people, you wonder, it begs you start to think and wonder what is going on. There are people who are literally, they say there's a heaven and a hell. People, you are leading people down a wrong path very clearly. You are leading them down that wrong path. How can you say people should accept something that is so outrightly wrong? So I just want to appreciate you for always standing on the truth, because it's sometimes I find it, I try to stay away from it, but the truth sometimes you can't keep yourself from speaking your mind. You can't. You understand? So when I hear somebody comes out and is able to say that, knowing that you're a Christian and you know what you believe in, it's refreshing. I wish more people would do that. A lot of the mess that we're seeing now will be reduced in a in a very, very great way, but unfortunately that's not the case. So I thank you very much. Oh, my brother, please keep being honest. Oh, my religion is love, truth, and honesty. That's my religion. That's the side I'm going to be forever and ever. That's the cloth that I'm cut from. If it is true, that's what I'm standing on. If it is right, that's what I'm standing on. If it is, honest, that's what I'm standing on. If it is love above all, that is what I'm standing on. So, and I've seen people who don't even who claim that they don't believe in God, they don't believe in anything. I've seen them do they're the most kindest people. Then you begin to wonder. Hey, then you see another one and say, oh, I believe in God, quote all the scripture, everything, nothing. Now even wicked pass. In fact, if you open a purse, you get to another otumokbo inside the purse. When you come up for church, you go meet Babalawo somewhere. You understand? So my own be say, see, we will not deceive ourselves. This life, tell each other the truth. The truth is what sets you free. It's not lies. It's not manipulation. You can only lie so much. After a while, people go figure out all the lies. See what they happen to Agbado now. Everything just they unravel one after the other. They don't unravel everything finish. No truth, not one. I beg. My brother, thank you very much, Mr. Eben. Una not many when they talk true, so I really need to appreciate you well for standing on the side of truth and holding on to what you believe in, but also standing on the side of truth. So thank you very much. I beg. Come back again, no, because no run, no run like you've been running since, because it don't reach like 1 year now when we hear from you. Can they say 6 yards of love, honest, truth cloth, Abba made? Kene, oh my God. Tato, God go bless you. Not see Tato. Tato don sharp, sharp. Kene, you dey there, they yab me. They say about made truth, honesty. See wetin Tato do. You know they see am. Abeg you. Abi Olusegun, honestly, they don't make people believe now, say religion a scam. That's what they've made people believe. A lot of people are living, walking out of the church in droves. You know, the ones when they want to become, when they want to be sheep and continue to be blinded, they still there. You know, so when you talk this, is some people go come at you, they say you they attack. They go say, don't talk to my prophet, talk to 10 from you, 10 from Kene. Yeah. Okay, oh Kene. Tato say 10 from you, 10 from okay. Una do well, oh, thank you. I appreciate. Hey, so funny. All right, guys. Well, let me leave you. I really appreciate all of you. Olusegun, you came late, oh, sorry. You came late. I'm about rounding up. You go need to catch this one on replay. So next time we'll go catch again for life. I really appreciate, guys. I really thank you. Mr. Jonathan, thank you very much. Now you help me now you help me moderate today from beginning to end. I'm not taken for granted. Thank you so much. I really appreciate this conversation was very, very interesting. Honestly, I didn't even expect it to turn out the way it did. I honestly thought I was going to do 1 hour max on this conversation. I thought people were going to run away from it, but I'm glad that we had the conversation. There were a lot of things that I have come to learn and also open my mind to, in the quests, in my own quiet time, asking questions about, okay, what do we do? How do we go about it? How do we go about sensitizing people? It's helped me even understand better. So I really appreciate you guys so much for this much needed conversation. So let me get, if you guys want us to do a part 2 continuation of this type of this conversation as we are fighting for our mandate, please let me get a yes in the comment section. And also in the panel, Mr. Jonathan, Mr. Eben, you guys want us to have a continuation of this? Let me see.
Yes, 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 yes.
Okay, good. Okay, Mr. Eben says yes. Mr. Jonathan, are you there? Like I say, Mr. Jonathan, don't go sleep. It's okay. Let me see. Okay.
I'm here.
So I was asking if we want us to do a continuation of this mindset
Yeah,
conversation because this was a
yeah,
very interesting one.
yeah, exactly. Yeah, that's good. That's yes.
We should continue the conversation and you guys
Condition.
can we can. So what can happen is you guys can like find out more information as to what you want us to talk about. You understand, like
Okay.
the different aspects of the things that happen in Nigeria and the way people do things that we can talk about and address.
Okay.
So when we come, we can have a robust conversation on each of them as much as we can because I think everybody's saying yes in the comment section. Okay. So we're going to do a part 2 of this, certainly, So, okay, BB says yes. Okay, Olusegun says yes. Okay. All right. Everybody's saying yes. Okay. Eze, welcome, Mr. Eze. Okay. So, all right. So that's good. So we're going to do a part 2 of this, a continuation of this. And I guess we're going to keep having this conversation. So hopefully mindsets can continue, begin to change and we can start to treat each other better and do better by each other. But now only love they sustain this world. Though. When I leave that thing, only love, forget. You feel quarrel, but now love, now they sustain things. Now love, now be the most powerful force on earth. I'm telling you, Babe, take it to the bank. Love will cure a lot of illnesses. I'm telling you, love. If person they frown now, if you go store, you see person when they frown, one cashier, he just squeeze his face. You meet him and they talk to you anyhow. Maybe because maybe don't person don't upset him. Just tell and say, hi, how are you? How are you doing today? I hope you just talk something nice. Watch as that person go just smile. Everything will just rest for the person body. Watch it. You understand? Everything will just rest. That's exactly what the power of love can do. So I beg, let's spread the love. Oh, I beg we not get what we they take head to do. Let's spread the love as we continue to fight for our mandates. We
Yeah.
fight and we love. Thank you so much, guys. Mr. Jonathan, you're going to say something. Sorry. Oh, I'm hearing a feedback. Oh. All right, guys, it's been real. See you on my next one. Tato, you say you missed your old content. I know, and I haven't been. The truth is that this election, this whole process of electioneering in Nigeria, to be honest, it's made it seem like I have moved on from that old content. I mean, of course, we can always gather together as village people, as normal. That one will never change, right? We're village brothers and sisters. So the conversations have progressed, right? So now we're dealing with communal matters for real, for real. We're dealing with communal and country matters. I mean, what's better fit, right? So we're still a village, but the conversations have just evolved. So yeah, those of us with voice like truck pusher for market, it doesn't work on catch. Kene, go and know how to talk, okay? When you want to talk, soften your voice. You say, how you talk softly, softly. So that truck pusher voice not go too dey obvious. You are now part of the village now, Kene. You are part of the village now. You don't know. You, in fact, now you be the village. This thing. I tell the corner. What title should we give Kene for village? Tato, what title should we accord to Kene? Kene, it seems like Kene will be the town crier because of his truck pusher voice. Since he termed it that way. Eh? Kene will be our no na Kene na they assign who they clean market square, who suppose go do environmental sanitation Saturday. You know those people. Kene go do that one well because Kene be like who sabi hold people accountable. You were not part, yeah, you were not part of the village now, but now you have joined. You just joined, exactly. Kene, so now you be the town crier, and then now you they have assign work for people. So people when they do the clean the market square, the ones when they make sure say when they sell, they clean where they sell. Market when we want to do our village meeting, now you they make sure say they clean everywhere so that we go get everybody go get where sit down with all the bench. Now you they organize the bench come. Now you be provost. Kene, yes, you are the provost. Thank you so much, guys. I really appreciate it. It's been so much fun. I thoroughly enjoyed these conversations. As you guys can see, this was a good conversation. Honestly, it was much needed. I had no idea how it was gonna go, so I'm glad it turned out this way. Higher canopy, yes, exactly, Kenny. Are you the higher canopy? Organize everything. So Naim. So welcome to the village officially. You don't already, you know see as you fit right in. You dey eat mango like village boy. You know all the village food. When I dey talk about village food for the year, I dey surprise. Can how you tell they know all the village food? I dey surprise. You even know the ones when me no know. I call the one that say now, wow, village levels there to this village thing. No. But thank you so much, guys. I appreciate you. Kenneth, thank you so much. I appreciate you. I appreciate the humor that you bring. I appreciate you are such a magnanimous person. Honestly, I really appreciate you. You don't have to do this, but you're always doing this with me, always supporting me. You, Tato, Eunice. I know say Eunice they busy. BBMJ, man, sis of life. I really appreciate you. Everyone, highly favored, Tony South, all of you, everyone that came in, I really appreciate you guys. Thank you so much. It's been real. May I leave now because I know someone I want you to talk hold me. I they run. Bye everyone. Have a great evening. Stay cool. Bye. Don't forget to share on your way out. Share, like, share, subscribe. Tell your people, make they subscribe. I don't even remember to ask all that one. Thank you guys. Bye.